We've been telling you about mosquito nicks for a long time. I've got the system in my backyard. It works perfectly. It's app-enabled. I can go on my app. I could, the mist my whole backyard so there's no mosquitoes when my boys go out there and play.
Perfect, man.
It's great. But getting into the cooler... it's cooling down a little bit. It's 86.
It's
nice outside.
It's cooling down. It cooled down, I think, on Tuesday. It was good.
Yeah. So,
the rest of the time has been pretty hot.
So it means it's holiday season, and Mosquito Nicks also offers a really cool program where they put holiday lights on your house.
Yep.
And they're licensed, insured, professionals. You don't have to hurt yourself by getting up there.
We've done it a couple of times. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier than doing it yourself.
I mean, the nightmare of just untangling the lights that you stuffed in your Rubbermaid bin.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I throw them away. It's like what I do with pennies. I throw pennies away. I'm sorry.
So they'll come and decorate the front of your house and make it look awesome, and then take it down after. It's easy. They'll store the lights for you, so you don't even need any lights.
No, they store all of it. They take it out, put it up, take it down, take it away.
And the easiest thing to do is you text ELVES. That's ELVES.
Hey, man. Oh, damn it. Hey, man.
Okay.
I screwed up my own joke. New phone, who dis?
They don't want you to do that voice.
It's an elf. It's an elf. I put an elf in there.
Yeah, I think that.
What other show's going to put a damn elf in there? Tell me, name one.
To this number, 407-602-4904. That's 407-602-4904. And that's the Central Florida area.
Yep.
If you want the holiday lights, someone will text you back, let you know. You can schedule it.
I'd get on it now, though.
Because they get busy.
Yeah, it gets a little tight. I mean, even for us, I think a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year, they got so busy, they're like, sorry, guys, we're not going to be able to do it.
Hey, and they may be able to even give you a discount if you text them early, because they want to get it done early, and then they'll take them down after Christmas.
Maybe that's what I'll do, since I already got my Christmas tree up. Maybe I'll just have them do it now.
Or if you have a mosquito problem, it's Mosquito Nicks of Central Florida. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Jeff Howell is here.
Hey!
How you doing, Jeff?
Good. How are y'all?
So, I got a couple things to ask you about, Jeff. First, it's great to have you in studio.
Yes.
It's always
You smell good.
I do smell good.
You got good deodorant, man.
You know what it is? I wear these wicking shirts.
Yeah.
Because I sweat so
Those
bad
are the ones
when I
that
play.
they're a witch.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wiccan shirts.
Yeah, but I washed it one time and left it in the washer too long, where they sour.
They get sour.
This smells like dog when I start sweating. So what I do now, instead of throwing away the shirt, because I'm too cheap, I hang the shirt up after I wash it, and I spray it with Glade. Orange Glade.
Orange Glade?
Orange Glade.
Yeah.
I spray it, and it doesn't smell like dog anymore.
Yeah, I like that.
I never know what to believe with Jeff. Like, he just got
It's like having two me's in here. I like it. I feel comfortable when you get here. I'm like, oh, thank God, somebody who likes tomfoolery is here.
I will say my
This guy's too serious.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
I wish you were tomfoolery.
In the Red Dog Pub thing.
How's that going? How's that going?
I was going to do my son's birthday party.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. My partner used to, I swear, I'd go.
That's the one that lied to you, right?
Yeah, that screwed me over, Did come up with his money. Lied. It was
that guy.
Holy
love
crap.
that guy.
Yeah.
It seems weird in the bar industry.
I know. I would, no, you, listen.
You must be the outlier.
You are dead on, because I always prided myself on calling it right on people. This guy's a truth teller. This guy's a truth teller. And the only best friend that I had.
I'm an oath keeper. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
But Bubba was about the only one that I would allow to lie, in that best friend status,
You would tell lies?
I'm finding out a lot of stuff today, dude. I didn't know any of that.
He didn't need gas.
You know what?
Do you mean
He didn't need gas.
He didn't save that black family from the retention pond that was drowning?
The dog didn't really have his wallet. He just had an idea of his.
He didn't drink out of a rusty hose and get an amoeba in his brain?
And there is no such thing as diabetes camps. So anyway, but the partner, but we would start, when we started everything, I would go and he'd go, well, what do you think about this? And I'd start telling him something, and then I'd have a punchline. And he would suck into it. So it got to the point where every time, even when the money was, and everything was bad and nothing good was happening with the bar, I would go up and I'd go, Mark, look, I went down to the bank today and I'll talk, and he goes, wait, is this a true story? Because I was
thought it was a setup for a joke.
because I do it
That's
to
kind of insulting, right?
It is.
A little bit when people do that. My wife will do that. She'll be like, "What? Are you joking?"
Yeah.
Well,
She'll do that.
it's the boy you cried wolf,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The boy who called Wolf.
What's woof?
Wolf, come here, Wolf.
What is woof?
This is what you came back to. Do you wish you were back in the mountains?
You know what they don't have in Colorado? Woof.
Go ahead.
You may proceed.
You tell too many jokes. And
And you never get to the story.
Yeah.
And this all started with my boy, what kind of guitar he plays.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we're at because I'm on marijuana right now.
What's he like? Telecaster, Stratocaster?
Oh, no. Wait, he was, because he liked the kind of little harder edge than me, he liked the Les Paul. And so when he was 7, he goes, "Dad, I'd like a Les Paul." And I said, "You ain't getting one of those."
Yeah.
They're like, even back then, they were like $2,300.
They're
Yeah,
expensive, man.
Yeah. So I bought him a knockoff, and then as he started playing with me, I said, "You know what? We're doing more blues. Come play with me and stuff like that." I said, "You might want to look at Fender because they're thinner sounding, but you can still grit them out." So he bought a Stratocaster.
Sweet, Strats are great.
Yeah, he saved up his money. It cost him about $1,200.
Oh, you got to go to it. I have a Mexican Strat that is, obviously not
I got a
American, but
Mexican.
It's good.
No, all my guitars are Mexican.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's not.
Well, mine was stuck in Texas for a couple of years.
Yeah, mine too.
I know.
Sorry.
As soon as
Mine
you said,
loves Rogan. Yeah, Rogan's in. Austin for life. Keep Austin weird.
so Jeff, I want to talk to you about poop.
There it is.
All right.
So
This is not like you. You normally don't like to talk about the feces.
Well, it's not what you think. I'm not going to go too gross.
No, I think poop is what you think
Well,
it is. Yeah.
you said before the show started on Twitch. That's why everybody should listen on Twitch because you can get it uncensored.
yeah, when you get some of the tidbits that I don't even think Jeff knew he was on the Twitch.
So you mentioned you had to go real bad.
Yes.
And then that.
Oh, people in our chat room met you at Red Dog Pub and say you're nice.
Oh,
weird.
That is weird.
that's the only good thing to come out of the Red Dog Pub right there.
Nice.
That
So,
was nice. No, but thank you guys. You were nice too.
It got me to think about old man poop, and no offense,
Yeah.
but
Loose.
And the only thing I know about it for old man poop is from hanging out with
Comes
my
in stages. It's like a rocket.
Well,
Yeah.
hanging out with my pop-up,
Yeah.
right? Because every time I hung out with my pop-up, there's a couple of mistakes made where one time I took him on that, the hang glider, what is it called? Not paragliding. Not paragliding.
Parasail.
No, it's
like
Paraplegic.
Parachuting.
The glider.
A glider.
You get inside.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
a
yeah,
guy-
yeah, a
you know,
plane.
It's like a glider
not
plane.
a paraglider, but a regular plane. A plane without an engine.
Yeah, plane without engine. He always wanted to go, so I took him to Mount Dora. Anyway, people know the story.
I've always wanted to be in a plane that didn't have an engine.
And so.
If God wanted planes to fly, he'd have put engines on.
By the way, my pop-up would tell me stuff. It's like, I've always wanted to go on a glider, and then I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, it's right, there's a Mount Dora.
wanted to try the Arby's Big Montana.
So, anyway, speaking of that.
It's too late. It's gone. I tried to get it last week.
We went to, like, BJ's Brew House or something. for lunch.
Get some diarrhea pizza.
And then-
Get a Pizookie.
Get a Pizookie.
And my pop-up, he didn't go too much outside of his comfort zone.
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
St. Cloud or whatever. So he didn't know BJ's Brew House.
Do you have burnt steak and fries?
So and as he got older, he would eat a lot. Like we'd go to the same diner, and he'd get 3 scoops, 1 scoop of tuna, 1 scoop of egg salad, 1 scoop of chicken salad on like some toast. You know, you start eating like blander food.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
that now.
You don't want to kick in.
It's called 3 scoops of slop.
Because your body can't handle
Triple slop.
a BJ's
Spice.
Brew House pub burger
Yeah,
with
but
a
what's the
knife stuck
difference
in.
in 2 blobs of mayonnaise with
Right.
mechanically separated meat in it?
It's a grease.
I mean, that's
I don't know. I don't. Whatever it was, all I know is that he went to use the bathroom in the gliding place, the trailer, and then we all had to evacuate. And the pilot
shut
had to
down.
get out.
Yeah.
They sold the glider.
He was flushing the toilet a million times. It's because you can't eat a
That
BJ's
doesn't
Brew
work.
House.
That doesn't work, by the way.
Burger.
If somebody, because Butler has a tendency to stink it up in our bathroom, and I've tried this, it doesn't work to flush the toilet. The smells will not be sucked down.
Yeah.
Doesn't
They're
work like
impervious.
that.
Impervious.
Yeah,
to
it
flush.
doesn't work like that.
They float.
They do.
Get away.
They do float.
But anyways,
They all float down here.
he shouldn't have eaten that. And like, obviously, I never asked him about it, but
Yeah.
he would have said,
Well,
like,
you-
I can't eat these.
You're
this
a man
garbage.
of few words. He's
Yeah,
a man of few
yeah,
words.
all last words.
I'm sure that
Oh, sad
paragliding
silence.
car ride was riveting.
Anyway, so not that you're as old as my papa.
Yeah, but I'm edging there.
Yeah, yeah.
60,
All a
62.
way for you to ask Jeff if he wants to go gliding.
Somehow I know that.
Do you miss your pop-up so bad
Yeah.
that you invited Jeff here and you want him to play the role of your gliding pop-up?
Yeah. All I'm saying is, does that happen to you? You have to be careful what you eat.
Oh, that
because-
happens to me because I got IBS.
Yeah. Well,
do you?
You have a disease. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
as
got
you
a
get-
disease.
No, but
As you get older.
I don't think I have a disease, but I've had chronic diarrhea since '82.
Yeah, you know what mine's like?
I was born in '82.
Must have been what did.
You know what mine's like? Mine's like when you got a bottle of liquid detergent.
Yeah.
And you can squeeze the bottle and it will you're changing the size
Yeah.
of the container, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just based on science, the amount of liquid that's in there will go right to the meniscus, that area at the top.
Yeah.
And it will go and it'll just hit at the top and it almost like it's going to protrude through.
Yes.
But it won't protrude through.
Yeah.
That's me. Just make me the bottle and make the
Yeah.
meniscus
Yeah.
where
The thing.
The thing.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. And I
Yeah.
have to stop. And I'll be like, "Come, close the top. All right.
Yeah.
We got to go to the bathroom."
Hey, the problem is, as you get older, the top doesn't close as well as it used to.
Yeah. Sometimes
That's the problem.
Squirrels would get in there and knock the lid off.
All right. Let's switch
Check
subjects.
your couch here.
Oh, my God.
Let's talk medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because this leads me into another
I don't want
topic
to talk
of
about
cocaine.
That's against the patient-doctor privileges. Or
Yeah,
whatever they call
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not
So-
airing out my dirty laundry.
Well, we our fine sponsor, True Leave, is our medical
Are they?
marijuana. Yeah.
Oh.
We got a True Leave line.
Yeah, no, I've been once, but I'm going back now.
Oh, well,
We're gonna have some promo codes coming up soon.
Yeah.
But
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so what made you get your card?
Well, getting older, and you guys will discover this one day, but there will come a day where you go, okay, I've got to do that once a year wellness check just to see if I've got something.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
don't.
it's a gamble. You're like,
Yeah.
I could be.
Yeah, you don't care about getting healthier, but you just go, I need to check if I have something.
If I'm
that
dying.
It's like scratching the lumpiest lottery ticket.
Damn it. So I went, and the last two times I went, my liver numbers, the enzyme, where it's starting to break down, were up. And so the guy goes, can you quit drinking for a week? And I said, yeah, I can do that. And I did it, and it didn't change much. He said, can you quit drinking for a month? And I went, yeah, okay. So I did, and I went in, and it was even, So he goes, look, nothing's, you could keep drinking right now and nothing happened for 4 or 5 years, but your chances of something happening, even cancer,
way higher.
stuff, are way higher. So I said, well, maybe it's time I look for an alternative. And I've never been a pot smoker because I can't inhale. Or I don't inhale well. I never could inhale a cigarette.
Yeah, I can't inhale either.
Yeah, I never.
Wait, I can't stop inhaling.
Yeah.
In fact, the problem I have now is literally can't stop. Too much weed.
And back in the day, there was weed when I was playing music.
I was just thinking about George W. Bush and his whole I didn't inhale. Was that him?
No, that was Clinton.
No, that's
Clinton didn't inhale.
It was that they gave the joint to him and he put it to his lips. He did that move that you do when people hand you shots.
Yeah.
But
and you.
Yeah.
Imagine that was a big deal at one time.
It was huge.
This country.
Yeah.
It was
The
huge.
president took a draw
Yeah.
of a joint, but he didn't inhale.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh.
Yeah.
Y'all can say what you want to, but when he
People were mad at Obama for smoking cigarettes
people
at the
get
White
mad,
House.
People get mad for the wrong stuff. When he landed that plane on that aircraft carrier,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Mission accomplished.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Like he's in the suit.
It looked good.
It looked good.
My brother was at USI, and we didn't do drugs in high school. I waited
that
till
wasn't
my
my
40s.
thing either,
Yeah.
no.
And so my brother was in college, and he met a girl, and she said, "You want to come over and smoke some pot with me?" And this was way back when it was really taboo.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, this means I'm getting laid here." So he went with her, but he was going to do Bill Clinton, just going to not, just puff out the smoke.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing that a couple times. She goes, come here. And she turned it around backwards to do a shotgun. with him, where she blows the
the smoke
thing.
out.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
So she puts the lit in her mouth, and then you put it in somebody's face, and you blow, and it sends a concentrated stream.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he
Have Andrea do that to me.
Yeah, we never did, but so we didn't know a lot, but he had heard about it. So she
Is this something my daughter can do for me?
Yes, actually it is. And so the girl came up to him. She put the thing backward in her mouth, and she came up to my brother, and he goes, shotgun. But he didn't know how it worked, so he went to the end of it, and he went, whoo, and he blew on his end up, which shot hot ashes down her throat.
Oh, killed her. Oh, my God. That's awesome.
She started coughing, and she couldn't stop coughing, and she was laying on her side coughing. He goes, should I go? And she went, yeah.
And then she left. Or he left.
No, he left, and that was it.
That's a great story.
So now that you have your card,
I'm going to scratch that one out.
No. I said it was great.
Oh, no.
That means it was just a little bad.
So how do you enjoy it?
How do I enjoy pot?
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Oh, I love it.
Edibles, though, or what are you
Well,
doing?
I was doing the edibles, but I don't gauge those as well, because it takes so long to kick in.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, and so you're doing.
I wish they would just give us needles of marijuana.
Yeah.
That I could just shoot in my arm.
So I
They
do
do have the syringes.
Yeah,
I want it fast.
Yeah. Because I think if you do the oil or something like that.
Yeah.
So something goes faster.
There's
but
sublingual.
The smoking does enough for
It's
me.
the fastest.
Yeah, it's nice. Gets me a little buzz right here.
It's almost like instant, too.
Yeah.
So have you gone through the experience of doing too much and having a freak out yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the best part.
Yeah. In fact,
It's controlled chaos. You should call me. I'll do it with you.
Yeah. I play I'm not going to say exactly what event, but I play a party every year. It's a big sporting event.
Yeah.
And, it's a Super Bowl. But anyway,
There's that rules are out the window, Jeff. Nowadays, you could say Super Bowl a million times.
No.
Super Bowl party.
I'm not worried about. I didn't want to call out the guy.
Yeah.
So, but it's not a bad call out because I
It's
play.
Warren Sapp.
The guy is a sweetheart. He's a super guy. I've known him for years. Just consider him a real good friend. Rich.
Oh,
he's rich. Yeah.
This is that rich Super Bowl party you complain about every year.
No.
Yeah, I did it to you. See, I learned it from you.
I was waiting to see when you were retaliating. That was calculated, and that was good.
You just wait. Next time I'm on the show, I'm going to kick your ass.
This guy's vindictive.
So,
he wrote down hot ash story.
yeah.
Round two.
I'll give him a second round of ash. Here it comes.
God, I'm such a... So, anyway, at the party, I wasn't drinking at this time. It was one of the times when I drinking. So I'd go up to the bar and I'd go, hey, she go, what do you have, Jeff? I go, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
So I go and eat some ribs on the break, and then I go to the desserts. I was going to eat some cheesecake, and there was a box of cookies that said medicinal. And I was feeling glaucoma coming on for the weekend, so I said, okay. So I pulled that thing open. I ate a whole cookie.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then 20 minutes later, I took a break. Nothing happened. So I went and ate another cookie. I thought I was impervious.
God. Oh, no, you're doing it.
So I went up and I started playing. I had about 2 sets to go. So I did another 15 minutes. And at the end of the set, nothing. So I go up to the girl, the bartender girl, and I say, hey, she goes, well, Jeff, what do you want? And I go, yeah, I'll have a... Cola.
Gotcha.
And I mean, everything turned like 10 times as slow as, normally.
I love that.
And I couldn't hear, like it sounded like Jimmy Finger's piano was in the pool and Tom Sachs was in the garage, and then it got to where I couldn't stand.
Were you drinking? No, you weren't drinking.
I wasn't drinking, I was high to the point of almost hallucinating. So I went and I didn't
to go walk into the closet.
Yeah.
And then I just let all of my wife's dress sleeves. I just let them just kind of just dust to my face.
Oh my God!
Well, when you're by yourself, it's different than when you're on stage.
Yeah.
Freak out.
Yeah, I had a freak, and I had to quit 20 minutes early.
I usually play till the night. I've never quit. Never done that.
So they put me in a chair, and I was sitting, and a girl came up and she gave me a plate of food with a spoon on it, and she gave me the spoon, and she goes, eat something. I go, it'll never make it to my mouth.
By the way, which makes it worse with edibles, by the way, because that as soon as you eat something greasy or fat or anything,
it usually lights a fuse.
Really?
It'll be worse.
Yeah, you don't want to put fat on
It'll
top of
activate it.
That works with alcohol. Like eating something will help your like
Get you
alcohol.
higher or get diarrhea more?
Well, the alcohol.
Take that.
Yeah, if you eat something when you're super stoned and having a freak out, it'll make it worse.
Like I'll do this.
Oh, okay.
Like if I take a pill,
actually
like 10
need
milligram
CBD
pill, and then
or
I just eat
alcohol.
a slice of cheese.
Yeah.
You know, like because it's all fat.
Yeah.
And about 20 minutes later, the fuse is lit.
Really?
The fat.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
it's
that.
how your liver processes the fat,
Yeah.
and then so that's where the
Oh,
THC.
I see.
So when
it bypasses.
Yeah, try it.
So
Yeah.
basically, while your liver's working and putting
Yeah.
that in your bloodstream, all like
Yeah.
the fat and all, like
Yeah.
it also puts the THC more in your bloodstream.
Oh, okay, good.
And so, like, you could eat edibles, be super high, and then if you eat something fatty, you're maybe twice as high.
What you
two
probably
times, yeah.
What you probably needed, and you could talk to Scott York about this. You probably needed some CBD to mellow you out,
or
bring your high down.
Or it's funny, alcohol will kill the anxiety.
Oh, really?
But
that
it-
usually gets me really screwed up, and I start puking.
But it'll
Really?
make you like the one drink. It'll
Yeah.
intensify the effect of
Yeah.
it. So it was really you got time. Will only do.
This is all new to me because, like I said, I never did pot. Now I did cocaine, but I held off for years. Till
We've switched to cocaine. This year.
Yeah.
2021 is
It's
Tom
good.
and Dan.
Yeah, I did it for years, but there was
dreams.
about a 10-year period where people would offer me cocaine,
Yeah.
and I flat out refused because I wasn't going to do it until we know what's in it.
Exactly. Write that down. I like that one.
Anti-vaxxer joke.
I like that one. I support that one.
Yeah, a little
My
better
body,
than
my
that.
choice.
A little better than that. So
Not much.
If you're not
on my wife's pillow.
watching, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live if you want to see Jeff jumping around.
So-
It's awesome.
I wanted to talk about cocaine because Samantha.
I want to talk about cocaine.
Wait, what? Don't put me in.
Well,
I want to do cocaine with Samantha.
Samantha mentioned she saw someone do cocaine in the bathroom over
At a
like,
sports bar.
Apparently, you were
Sports bar,
time
yeah.
traveling. You got out of your hot tub time machine.
Yeah.
so
It's been a
and
while since that's happened.
and you said that and then it got me to think. I was like,
Yeah.
why was it a thing to go to the bathroom and do cocaine?
Because people get drunk and they want to continue to drink, so they go and do a line.
well, I'm saying why in the bathroom? Because it seems like
trying to hide, I guess?
Privacy. You can go in there and do it off the.
Yeah,
is it
the
just out
toilet.
of privacy?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
Yeah.
it seems like
You can't just
Do it at the table.
You don't want to do it in your car because
Yeah.
you could quite possibly get arrested,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
well, because like I equate it to the now everybody brings.
Well,
their-
Jeff's done it. Jeff, what, I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
but
Yeah, ask an expert.
well, I
why
will.
the bathroom?
Because privacy, and it makes you pee really bad.
Well,
Ooh, I need that then.
I know, right? Oh, you have trouble peeing?
I have my medication I'm on for my my depression and anxiety has given me a weak stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, but
Sad.
Do some cocaine.
I equated it to the medical marijuana and the fact that basically most people I know now that have a card, they take their pen around with them,
Yeah.
and then they'll be at places like a party
Sure,
or a pub
sure,
or a
sure.
bar or whatever.
Yeah.
La
And then
Petite Academy.
if they want to take a toot, they'll just walk to like the corner or outside
yeah.
or walk away,
Yeah.
take a toot and
Yeah.
take a draw
I
and then
announce it. I'm like medical marijuana
and
I'm
blow
gonna
it
walk
out.
away. Medical marijuana right here.
So it seems like in
Citizens arrest my lungs.
in the marijuana culture, and you're blowing out a plume of medical marijuana
That other
smoke.
people can breathe,
Yeah,
yeah.
like so it's harder to hide, but they do it in public, and like so.
No,
Why?
I would say 99% of the reason people went to the bathroom to do cocaine is because everybody else wanted your cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody
So if
wanted
you blew it, okay, that's a
and there was
bit.
only this much
Yeah,
cocaine.
yeah.
I got pot for days.
So you
Yeah.
didn't want anybody to see you,
Yeah.
because the likelihood of someone else asking you like, "Hey, let me take a hit off your two pen," that doesn't
Yeah.
really.
This isn't the 70s. You don't share your cocaine with big piles of it.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're selfish with
See,
our cocaine.
there it is. That makes it.
That
more
was
sense.
the reason, and there was also this great thing. But that being the reason is, if you let somebody do your cocaine, all of a sudden y'all were like cocaine buddies. You know, there's a little
Yes, I want a
conspiratorial.
cocaine buddy.
Nobody knows. Shh, nobody knows. You know.
Yeah, we're cocaine buddies.
So it's like a thing.
Eskimo
like,
kiss. We had rubber noses together.
Because when you went to the bathroom, like I thought most people did bumps of cocaine.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it. Yeah,
you just take a little bit and you snort it off the spoon or whatever.
Yeah,
like the length,
your nail
or nail or key or whatever. I don't know. I never
or your
done
little
coke.
crucifix necklace.
Yeah.
Shout out Cool
McDonald's coffee stir.
G.I. Joe's hand works really good.
That would work.
Yeah, we're perfect. Scoop it right up and then film it for a TikTok. It looks fun.
The whole in the movies you do like snorting a line off the back of a toilet.
Yeah.
No one did that.
No,
That's disgusting, right?
No, they did do it. They did do it. Oh yeah,
Seems gross. You're like
it is gross.
And you're in the bathroom like
yeah.
doo-doo in there.
Yeah, you're putting all the doo-doo right in your nose.
Yeah.
And the guy, I used to do it because I used to put a little line on the back of the toilet, and just a little line, and because I have breathing problems, so I gotta do this. I gotta go and let all my air out.
Pump yourself up.
I gotta let all my air out. I go
like you're a free diver.
Yeah. I go and I get a lot of air, and then I go down. And I go because only one nostril works at a time. I go, and then I would get it in there. Yeah, and then I would get it in there, and the guy next to me go, rough poop.
Yeah, it just seems. Also, it seems like the grossest place to snort anything in the bathroom.
But when it's cocaine, you don't care.
Okay,
because you want it so bad.
Yeah.
There was a time like in the 70s, 80s that it was everybody did it, right? Well, like, when did it?
Yeah.
When are we going to get medical cocaine?
That's what they call Adderall.
They did it.
That's why I'm taking that right now.
I want medical cocaine.
They actually, believe it or not, they would thought cocaine was a recreational drug and pot was the bad drug.
Yeah.
Until they saw how wild people were on cocaine. How they, not how wild they were doing cocaine, but how wild they were trying to get more cocaine and then crack and then
they become addicted and your OD.
I can completely relate to you like with the lung thing because when I use my toothpick I go
get it out. Yeah.
Then you gotta hold it,
Yeah.
hold it, passing out, put the hand on the wall, open, slap your face.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Now you're ready to go to church.
They go ahead. Question.
No. Next, I was going to ask you about the 70s and disco, but
No. But it was everywhere there. But
he didn't deserve that.
But the late 70s and the early 80s, the cocaine thing was just huge. I mean, and it was. But you could see people. Let little knots in their pants, and not that I looked at people's pants.
But everybody that went out usually had a little bit of cocaine.
Well, if you did cocaine and you made some money, you had to have money for cocaine.
What did it cost back then?
It cost about $100, $80 to $100 for a gram.
Baggie? Okay.
Yeah. For a gram. Yeah.
How much? How many snorts is a gram?
Well, it depends on who you're snorting with.
I'm a lightweight. You don't need a ton, just a little of that.
You could probably get, I would say, about, if you're a lightweight, probably about 20 snorts out of it.
Oh, that's great. That's a value. I'm going to try this.
It was great, for writing songs and stuff because I'd get drunk and I'd do cocaine. I'd stay up till 6 in the morning.
Right.
But then I'd write something like, Eskimo's lips on fire. I don't know if that's going to be any good.
There was a time. It seems like a time, and I've seen it where like you get into your like mid-20s and you're drinking every night.
Yeah.
And the people they just got into coke just because it would help them drink longer.
Yeah.
Because you're at the bar instead of you drink yourself till you're tired, and then you just do coke to make the party last longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's everybody was doing it for.
Absolutely, but the weird thing about cocaine is the first sniff you do. The first one you ever do will be the best one you ever do. It's never
That's
as
like
good.
girls.
Yeah, it's like girls.
Right? Because they're younger.
Or anything.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
For me, they're younger then.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're not going to get any better than that. At least in mine, it just goes downhill from that.
Yeah.
Even if you're like that lady, even if you're like that lady that plays the Rebecca character on Ted Lasso, who's like, she's gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
But she's an older lady.
Yeah,
and you know that.
Is she older? Or does she have that thing where she looks older, but she's actually like.
Because she's fit.
30.
Because when people are muscly fit, sometimes they look a little older.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Sometimes fat people look infinitely young because they're plump.
Because it pushes out the wrinkles.
They're like a young baby. They're plump. You know, he looked like a young
It does.
baby.
It pushes the wrinkles out. I
It
think.
does.
Yeah.
If an older fat guy loses weight, he looks real old.
Looks-
yeah,
It's
so-
like, oh my god!
I want a bone rail body with a big fat head.
Yeah.
Big fat face. I want a moon pie face with a broom body.
You do that with Botox.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I've
into a lion.
I've lost like 40 pounds just this week.
Really?
I hit
You
40
look-
pounds.
you
Yeah.
look great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But
40?
I'm worried about losing much more because, all that.
Oh, looking old. Yeah. Well, you don't look old.
You think?
I don't think so.
I feel-
the
I
joke
feel.
that we would always bust on you for looking old, I don't think you look any older than anybody else.
You mean that
That
wasn't
was always
true?
just like a joke. Yeah, it was just
man.
like a
That's
joke.
true for 15 years.
That's the only reason I was doing all that exercise and that taekwondo stuff.
Well, you still have like a blonde in your
Do
beard.
I?
Yeah.
Yeah. It started dying on this side faster than this
Have
side.
you ever dyed it?
No, hell no. I don't.
Chris Fisher does.
I don't. Who?
Our friend Chris Fisher, he still does. He's not even in the public eye anymore.
He's probably a great guy, but I don't trust anybody that
He
dyes
is a
their
great
hair.
guy, but
Yeah.
he dyes his beard.
Not to be too mean to you, Jeff,
Yeah.
but you did do that thing where a lot of people do, where they lose some weight and then they say to me that I don't want to lose too much weight because I don't want to be anorexic or
Yeah,
look too
yeah.
like
Yeah,
look
yeah, yeah.
sickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you're nowhere close to that. Like you could lose another 80, and then
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
I'm just saying-
You're gonna take that?
No, I'm
No,
just
I
saying
ain't.
That's not even a joke. That's just you being
no,
a
not
mean
to Jeff.
person.
I'm saying to other people
but
when
you
they
just
say
said
that.
it to
Said it
Jeff.
to
They're like,
Jeff.
I don't
You
want to
said
be
it right to
anorexic.
his face. You-
I'm like, well, anorexic is a stretch.
The
You
last
just said-
person that said that to us was Super Dave at House of Blues.
Why did you say that?
Because I'm a truthful man. I don't lie. And Super Dave had a House of Blues shirt on, and he said, if I lose any more weight than this shirt, I'm not going to be able to wear this. It'll be too big. And
Yeah.
we were both like, I don't know, Bo.
Okay, you can wear it.
He'd laugh at that. He's a legend. The guy, you can't, the guy's living a better life than we are.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
Yeah, buddy. You can leave us voicemail messages. In fact, a lot of them came through while we were on vacation. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-TOM-N-DAN. You can leave a message there, or you can get our app. It's completely free. Wherever you get your apps for you download your apps for your smartphone. There's a thing called Mediocre App. Everything's on there. You can sign up to be a BDM member. That gets you more shows and private parties. This is a guy we haven't heard from in a minute.
Ben Bungie.
No, I'm afraid Ben's gone.
no.
This is Zach from Ohio.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. I don't know if you guys have any fond memories of summer when you were a child. You had the sprinkler out in the front yard, spraying water around everywhere. You and your friends are all running around, jumping through the water. Well, my neighbors, their father accidentally hooked up the hot water to the sprinkler for one of their faucets. So when it would get to be, like October or whatever, sometimes we would go out and run around in the hot water. And it was funny because when you would get close to it and it would get on you, you'd be like, yeah, it like kind of hurts you. But then you'd be like, oh, it's cold out here. It feels good. Also, another friend of mine.
Do you guys
How does
remember?
that happen?
Do you guys remember My dad would set up a sprinkler. He'd have the one that have a metal spike, and he'd screw the end on the one that went.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
mobile sprinkler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put a hose to that.
Yeah, and he'd stick it in the ground, and then when you got really close to it, when that thing shot out, it would burn your calves. I mean, it would scald them. Almost like they were being whipped.
How does that? I'm confused as how hot water gets hooked up to a sprinkler.
Well, you can screw it on to.
You just put it on anything.
like a laundry sink or anything
like
with
a garage
cold and
laundry hose.
we just did the regular hose. It's just one temperature, room temp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people have that.
It
but
must be an up north thing, like
heat your pipes.
I don't think Zach talking about something in Florida or up north.
No,
Probably Ohio.
Yeah,
He's from
because he was
Ohio.
saying that
Yeah.
they would go hot water in October.
Yeah.
He continues.
So it makes sense they have some sort of way to spray hot water because the thing's ice over or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just hook it up to that thing.
makes sense to me.
Had his father just recently hooked up a toilet to hot water, and his father tried to play it off like he did it on purpose, like, it feels good under your ass to have some hot water. But his son, who's my age, just said, Dad, go yourself, you totally did that on accident.
So, a couple things.
Hot water toilet makes sense to me.
Like the
Well, no,
the water would cool pretty fast. Like it only come out
Now, we've had this conversation on AMT before that farts smell worse in hot showers. So
And
wouldn't
hot water.
So wouldn't that be worse to have hot water in
Well,
the
I'm
toilet?
trying to think of bacterioso, too. Like the heat would breed
Boil
more.
the bacteria?
Well, I was thinking if you could get that stuff coming out boiling hot, I'm trying to think of a sanitary way.
It might help to keep the bowl cleaner.
Yeah, it might help to keep some of the particulates that have a tendency to stick.
Well-
That hot water might get in there and kind of blast them off a little bit.
Yeah.
It filled the tank up hot, but then if it sat there for
Right.
any
No,
length
I
of time
want
and
an
cool,
instant. I want an instant, like one of those instant hot water heaters.
You'd have to heat the toilet itself.
No. I
keep-
want it. I want it in a hot water heater.
Ah.
I flush. Comes from the hot water heater. No tank. Tankless
Oh,
toilet.
okay. Yeah,
I don't need a tank.
Oh, it's like a tankless water heater, like it instantly heats with gas.
That's what I want.
Okay, all right.
Right to the toilet. Hot water going around in there. The only problem would be is if you get your hand in there or your head in there. Oh, man, flush your toilet in a boiling hot toilet or flush your head in a boiling hot toilet.
You know,
That's a good way to hurt somebody, right?
oh, yeah.
Turn the water off, flush the toilet goes empty, boil a gallon of water, pour it into toilet, put person's head in toilet,
Ooh,
flush
swirly.
it. I'm going to put that down for an idea for torture in a movie. Write that down.
Like our generation will constantly complain about
What's your generation?
our kids.
Those are the dolls they sell at Target.
Well, I'm just saying, like when I was a kid, I used to go out and play in the front yard and
Me
play
too.
in the sprinklers and stuff. Yes, we all did that. There was no internet. There was no good video games. I mean, we had the standard. We had, Nintendo, Atari, whatever, but they weren't that good. So they didn't hold your attention for that long. Now you have infinite entertainment. So it makes sense kids aren't doing that anymore. We were forced outside by the fact there was nothing better else to do.
Yeah.
And I think if we had the same phones and internet and everything,
We'd be outside.
well, no, we wouldn't be. We'd be inside doing the same thing.
Oh, I thought
kids-
you meant if we had the same ones today as we had then, we'd still be going outside to play. I
No.
was just going the reverse option. I'm saying
Yeah.
if we right now, instead of having technology, had worse technology,
Yeah.
we'd all still be outside.
our kids would be out playing in the front yard or whatever, right? I mean, it makes sense to me.
I would
it's not
agree
like
with
we
that.
were different humans or more motivated by like the fact of like true pure fun.
Well, here's how
or
I
at least
know.
that's how we saw it. My kids see true pure fun as watching YouTube.
Yeah, here's my test. My daughter is addicted to her iPad. You want to know why? Because I'm addicted to my phone. There's your test subject, right? It's not like
Yeah.
it's any different for her than it is for me, right? In fact, I would argue that she uses her iPad less than I use my phone.
Yeah.
I'm more addicted to social media than she's addicted to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, I got a
Yeah.
lot more work to do than she does. So.
Any stimulant that you get, you want to go back to, right? So it's like,
Damn right.
So I mean, even when we were kids, like we used to enjoy playing outside, riding our bike, but that was our stimulant. So that's what we wanted to do, right? So if we had phones or iPads or unlimited, Netflix to watch, we would be doing that because that would be our stimulant. And so it's
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know, but I do think inherently going outside and doing those physical things is better for you mentally, physically, so many other,
Everything.
almost everything.
Yeah.
So it is worse now. So that, I mean, it can't be better, right? This way.
No.
It was better playing outside. So that
I think
argument's
you
valid.
You could argue that maybe you get some critical thinking and hand-eye. You know, I mean...
Physical movement,
No.
learn like being around other people. I remember like all the neighborhood kids would come to my front yard.
That was important. You had to work out problems. You had
Yeah.
to deal with disagreements. You had to deal with bullies. You had to deal with people that were upset. You had to deal with, Jonathan's mom and dad are getting a divorce, and you'd talk about it at the trampoline.
You got to deal with the kid that brought his mom cigarettes and wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is, like all the
Yeah.
stuff of like,
And then you all
adversity.
pee, and then you all pee in the band instrument room.
Yeah.
You all go to the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
of the band instrument room, and you pee in the bass
Yeah,
drums.
yeah. Then you go on a journey to see a dead body by the river.
Yeah,
to
you do.
Stand by me.
And then you peek in Jeremy's mom's bathroom to see her big ones.
You know what? Now that I think about it,
I feel better getting that off my chest.
my buddy had an older sister.
Yes.
And we looked through the window of her
Oh
changing.
my God,
and
Aaron
it
Andrews!
makes me
Look,
horrible.
Aaron Andrews, you're a terrible person. You know what? You're Jared from Subway. Same person. I can't work with you anymore, Sam.
I was 12 years
Sam,
old.
we're out of here.
Peeping
Oh,
Tom.
even worse.
I was 12 years
Oh
old.
my God, you're a pedophile.
Peeping Tom.
A reverse pedophile.
I think she was like I'm going to say 18, but probably doesn't work out like
I don't think it matters. You're 12.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter that way.
But if I say
freaking
that
out,
she was
bro.
under 18, it sounds way
She
worse.
was 12, and I was. I was 12.
This is like right before I left the radio.
Oh my god.
No, but like that was something you did, right?
I tried, never had an encounter.
She caught Baloney Andy, and she
Oh,
was
my
mad,
God.
and then he wasn't allowed, and we blamed it all on him. We're like, it was his idea.
Did she call him that or just Andy? Because I feel weird. Get out of here, baloney, Andy. Like, that's weird.
Right.
She called him the R word. Different 97.
Yeah, he's a little different. He's a different guy.
All right, let's do another voicemail.
Okay. Wow, that was wow.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ben with a Y. Hey, I just wanted to make a comment about what Tom said about his kids not talking and how he drives to school in dead silence. So my son is in high school, and it's the same thing. He doesn't say a word, but I was he's a wrestler, and he was wrestling over the summer, so they don't have the bus system. So I was taking him and 3 other wrestlers to a wrestling meet up from Polk County up into Orlando. And the whole ride there and the whole ride back, nobody said a word to anyone. It was so weird. And like they were all just on their phones. They had their headphones in. And I could, rewind back to, I grew up in the 90s or whatever, but when we were in the car, we were talking with each other. We were talking about sports or the sport that we're going to play or the coach or girls or whatever it may be. But these kids nowadays, they don't talk at all. They just sit there and they stare at their phones with their headphones in. And they don't say a word. So, Tom, I feel your pain. Love you guys. Bye.
Are they texting to each other in the car?
No, and it's also like it's that thing of back in my day, but I don't know that that's true because I'd bring my Discman and just listen to my music and stare out the door or stare out the window or read a book or something. I'm not talking, especially like if they're on a sports team together, they spend a lot of time together.
I was gonna agree with Sam and say that the only thing I can equate this to are church trips I went on to do like mission stuff, and I was a kid, but I would have my Discman, and I remember listening to Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
And you're in high school, you're not trying to talk to your dad. You know what I mean?
And also, if you...
Hey, you got a cool dad. I want to hang out with him.
Right.
Nobody says that.
And we didn't have that option. Like, going back to what we talked about, this is a perfect tie-in, too. Back in the day, you had to talk to your dumbass friends about sports or whatever. There's nothing else to do. If we had phones back then, guess who knows more about sports? Everybody on my phone than my dumbass friend. You know what I'm saying? So
you could actually watch sports.
Yeah.
Live
and
on your phone.
You could talk to lots of people.
Didn't you
girls.
have a van with DVD player in it or something?
yeah, conversion van.
So you were talking to nobody. You were just watching TV.
Wait, no DVD player. It was a cassette player.
Yeah, they broke it.
And it broke
VHS.
quick. But also, it was like my mom's. Yeah. Like and most of the time it was Barney or some other. Because
while you were in high school?
No,
Barney.
my brother was 2.
He's a baby.
Or 5, and I was 15. It was a 10-year difference. So he got the TV to watch his kid shows.
Gotcha.
But again, if we were all in high school driving around, yes, everybody's going to be looking at the phone because it's more entertaining than the people around them. But inherently, there is probably something negative about that than having human-to-human interaction. I mean, we were talking to Jeff Howell yesterday. I was like, it's a way different vibe when you're here in front of us rather than on... I had way more fun with them here than we'd had, even though it was fine, but it's like that when he's on Zoom or whatever, hard to have any sort of connection.
Yeah, it's difficult. The energy levels are different. The eye contact's different. It's just weird.
But will you just get used to that no connection, and then that'll be the new connection?
That's what I think is happening. Yeah.
Right. Because
we're bitching about it because this is not
it wasn't our way.
Yeah, this isn't the norm anymore, right? Like what it is to us.
And we didn't learn it.
Oh, that's a bad one. That's a really bad one.
Yeah.
Can you
Too much
taste?
talking.
I can't taste.
Oh, yeah.
And my tongue's all swollen for some reason.
Yeah.
I think I bit it. I've also been cheating on my wife a lot with prostitutes. Well, you went away on vacation, and I just went cheat crazy-mo.
I saw there was the American Express.
I-69 behind a dumpster.
They take American Express now?
I-69 behind the grilled seafood dumpster. It was bad. It was bad. And that guy told him that God told him not to get the vaccine.
That's true.
I read that. I read that. Let's try this one. I think this one's going to make you laugh. This is my voicemail of the week.
Hey guys, this is Ben with a Y. I can remember listening to
to one of the older shows where Tom was talking about, not knowing what his kids were watching on their iPads. And I can remember a time back in the it was probably 1996-ish when we got our first.
Is he straight peeing while he's leaving a message?
He has a long real man pee.
I didn't hear that the first time. Listen, I got to cut these.
Maybe he's rinsing his produce.
No, let's say he's not. Let's say he's not. He's rinsing produce.
Family computer. And my dad was so proud of this. My dad was a complete asshole, but for some reason he was so proud of this computer and the fact that his kid would have all this technology at his fingertips. And he sat it down. It was dial-up internet, and he dialed up, and he's like, look, you can research anything. And he typed in www.whitehouse.com because he wanted to show me and teach me about the White House. And as soon as he hit enter and it loaded in, it was a damn porno page. And of course he's scrambling to close it down and everything, and then he turns off the computer. He goes, I don't think you need to log into this anymore, and he storms off to his room. And that hey guys, forget it to this day. How you have to watch what your kids are watching. If not, you're going to end up on whitehouse.com looking at porn. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
He is still going.
I think that's I think it's fish tank.
They're getting to a point now where I am worried that they're going to just start typing in, because they don't really have any concept of the internet. But for instance, recently they played this game called Luigi's Mansion, right?
Yeah.
I played that. I used to play that all the time. A good old game of Luigi's Mansion. Let me just tell you.
It sounds like the butt.
It does.
Sounds like with the butt.
I have been trying to get in Luigi's Mansion for years.
So
normally I just have to go to Mario's Party Pad.
They lost interest quickly because it's hard. It's like a puzzle each level or whatever. You got to figure out something. They're lazy.
They want the easy one.
Yeah. So I was like, I can look this up on Google and it'll tell me step by step, and I'll just talk it out to you, and you do the steps or whatever. It's like the cheat code.
Well, it's a guide. It's not cheating. You still have to do the work.
Right. Yeah. But
I don't think that's cheating. If somebody says, okay, you got to jump and land on this brick.
Yeah. Put the weight.
Yeah. You still got to do it.
It's kind of like when we used to have Game Genie or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Game Genie was more cheating the code. This, you still you still got to put the work in. This is just I bit my tongue. I can't talk. Not talking like that.
That's fine.
I hate it.
So anyway, that was the first time it started clicking in their head. They're like, well, it'll say how to beat each level. I'm like, yeah, the internet says anything. You could look up any question.
And then Tommy goes, yeah, boy.
I did get
What is Hooters?
Yeah, when I said the internet has everything or it says anything, I did start to worry, I shouldn't have said that.
No.
Why'd you say that?
I don't know why, because I was trying to explain to them that I looked up Luigi's Mansion cheats or overview or step by step.
It's like when Andrea started trying to explain reincarnation to Maisie. That's a true story. And I text her because because I'm not going to yell at her in front of Maisie. Just trying to be respectful.
Right. What did she ask about it, or
I don't believe so. Andrea has a tendency to do what you do. I don't know if it's a logical person trait, but over-explain and tell people things that they don't need to know. And Andrea starts rolling out how different people have different religions and they believe in different levels of reincarnation. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are we even?
But you told her about the true one, the one that's real.
Right? Yeah.
Making sure.
And then I also told her to yuck on anybody else's religion. Hardcore.
Yeah.
Fight for it.
Yeah.
War about it.
They'll go to hell if they believe that.
Yeah,
you're saving them.
That's what I told her.
So you have to be ultra aggressive.
You want to burn in the lava?
Yeah. It's your business because you're saving them. And if you're not a good religion or whatever it is, then you're not saving the people that are going to go to hell.
That's what I said. Old age chirpers, are they real?
Hey, Tom and Dan, Sam and Trav, LS Demon Jesse here. I wasn't born a chirper, and I think I'm a pretty introverted person. I live alone and so forth. I'm not very social, but maybe I think that's driving me to be a chirper in my old age. I find myself making small talk with the lady at Walmart or the person in the deli, and that's crap I never did before. So I think I'm growing into a chirper.
So there
You
is.
guys have a good day.
I understand this. There's a phenomenon called a bored chirper or a lonely chirper.
Lonely, yeah.
And you can evolve into being a chirper just from being too lonely, which is it's the saddest part of chirper.
And I also wonder if the pandemic
No.
also added to that, right? Because everybody was separated for so long and, staying in
wait
their
a
houses
minute.
and not doing anything. So now that he's out, he's like going to the bakery at Walmart. He's like, I got to talk to somebody. I haven't talked to anybody in a year.
Well, then they weren't born a chirper.
No,
Right, yeah, they were
Then
born a
they're
chirper.
assuming the role of a chirper later stolen valor.
Yep.
100%. I'm the real deal.
Appropriation. You're appropriating the chirper.
It's chirping
Chirper
appropriation.
Yeah. 'Cause- And it's the saddest kind of chirper because Daniel's a true chirper. He was born this
loves
way.
it.
I'm authentic. I'm like a Native American.
He talks for 5 hours a day, chirping crazy, and then we'll leave and walk through public,
chirping
and
there.
then chirp
Yeah,
there.
I'm
Chirp on his free
So
time.
he was born. He's
It's
Lady
natural.
Gaga born
I'm a natural born chirper.
He's a natural burn.
Marilyn Best.
Anyway, so you, sir, are just stealing Daniel's chirpiness, which because then if you're not born a chirper, then you're not doing it right. For sure, you're starting up weird, awkward conversations because Daniel, the stuff he does is that they like
It works.
I will give it to Daniel. Like the other people are glad to talk to him because he's been doing it for so long. He does it well, right?
I remember things, too, that are engaging. So, let's say it's Derek, the cool black guy. I'll be like, hey, Derek, hey, your Mima feeling better, man? And he'll be like, hey, yeah, she is. I'll be like, hey, I'm glad. Tell her I said hey.
Yeah.
Stuff like that where they know that I care.
Yeah.
But I don't really care.
When the old man at Walmart checking your receipt starts asking you about your shoes, like he's never seen those before.
Those are some pretty nice-looking kicks you got there.
Because you're wearing Nike Shocks and he doesn't understand it.
Oh, my God.
I'm like,
There's a
oh,
pogo
God.
stick. It's like a pogo stick.
Don't talk to me, old man. Anyway.
The funniest thing here is that you were wearing Nike Shocks. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, I'm about a month behind on the shows, and I'm listening to the BDM show talking about expensive medical bills. Jim from Lakeland started it off. My sister, her dog, lived to be pretty old, and then he started getting lumps and whatnot. Ended up needing some very expensive stem cell therapy, and they went for it. They got the money to blow on it, I guess. And the dog still died.
Oh.
Rest in peace.
Oh, they got you.
Oh, man, the old stem cell dog died.
Yeah. I mean, how expensive do you think that is? It's usually around. It's never more than $5. It's between
10,
3
20?
and 4. Like,
oh, really?
$300-$400 seems to be like an amount that people will spend to
For
keep
the
their dog alive.
Yeah, because if it's $1,000, I'll do it, but I hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I got to throw it on a credit card, right?
Yes.
$1,000 sounds like throw it on a credit card.
But you can
I'd
get
be
more.
Pissed.
The whole,
I'd throw it on a credit card.
The whole business, if you're in the stem cells for dogs, you're in the laser treatment, all these cockamamie things people do for the dog. I did it with Lena, and I think that was around $2,500.
But it worked with her.
No,
she's still alive.
Nothing works. It may do some sort of cockamamie a little bit, but
the thing that I heard it does is it makes dogs get used to wearing goggles.
yeah. What it does is you spend a lot of money, right, and then the dog still dies. And
I always wondered
you probably
why-
kept the dog alive too long because it's miserable.
I always wondered why you put the protective goggles on Lena when she had cataracts.
I know. Listen, when they put, because it's all part
of the.
Well, they assume they're like, well, you're paying $3,400 and you're here every other week, so we assume that you want the doggles. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah, that's what they're
The
called.
doggles on.
Actually, that's a brand, and now we're being
If
sued.
they would have asked me, I'd be like, don't put them on Lena, don't put them on me. In fact, don't even, let me just sit in the lobby, and then I'll go home.
I'll read a magazine, I'll go home.
This is just to tell my wife I came here, and then,
What would they do? Have we ever, what are they doing? Were they, brushing the dog?
I'll tell you. I go in the room. There's
Walk down the laser treatment.
There's a tech there. The vet doesn't even, he may pop in the room.
I don't believe in this stuff.
Well, he's like a dentist when you're
I'm
doing
a real
cleaning.
doctor.
He'll come in and poke your gums and be like 5'2", whatever.
Yeah.
So he'll come in and look at the laser, look at Lena, and be like, all right, touch her hips or whatever. I'm sitting there, and they're like, all right, goggle time. Everybody puts on goggles. The nurse tech puts on goggles. There's a machine. She turns it on. It sounds like it's firing up.
It's that quintessential Batman villain, shrink ray. So,
Yeah.
It sounds like when my sons rev the engine on their Power Wheels 4-wheeler.
It's like a tanning bed.
It's just a sound effect. And then Lena sits there, and then the tech proceeds. She's like, the back hips? They have
got to be very careful there. If I shoot this laser anywhere near her paws, could blow her feet right off.
And then they put it on.
Only a professional can do that.
They put it on her hips as Lena, terrified, by the way, because she's got goggles on. This is loud noise. She's nervous at the vet anyway, so she's terrified, panting, whatever.
Ooh, we should do a TikTok channel of just dogs and MRI machines.
Oh, man.
They put the laser on. They're like, da, 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 make some sound.
Oh, I like the MRI noise.
Yeah. That's how I know it's working, right? Because the person that's paying needs to hear something.
Do they do anything like, I've never seen this before? Or is it just routine?
No, I think at this point she's done enough where she knows.
Do they put it back and they're like, look at the way she's moving. It's a miracle.
No, it's always like this and other things will help the exercise and the proper diet.
This and real doctors.
Well, it's just like
get your dog back.
It's like with exercise, proper diet, making sure she doesn't overexert herself. Like she will see results in 4 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
4 to 8 weeks.
Whatever it is. I'm like, okay. And then we do it, and then we get an argument with your wife about 3,400.
Did you ever look at the dog and be like, a little better?
Well, yes.
because I do that with myself. I'm not hanging this on you.
No,
this is about me.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest mark. If I have bought something, if I'm doing this for Andrea,
you want to believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I'm that guy. Way more. He's logical. Remember,
I mean,
I am not. So I'm sitting there, and I will see if we reverse roles, and I'm with Crystal, and Lena's running in the grass. I mean, look, it's working. Look at, oh my God, look at her gallop.
Well, it's never like all of a sudden she just takes off like a greyhound. It's like that weekend.
She's a little more
on Sunday.
spry.
She's a little more spunky, and she's like, look,
spunky.
Look at Lena. She's not dragging her nails that much.
Oh my God, her nose is extra wet.
And then I was like, yeah, but did she? I mean, I think she's always like this in the morning, and she'll be dragging.
I'm sure of it. Look at the smile on her face. Dogs don't smile.
Yeah, she'll be dragging them about 3 p.m. and she was biting at the flies, crazy. Oh my God!
Yeah, but by that time I've had enough beer because I'm celebrating the fact that my dog's alive that I don't notice that it didn't work because I'm hammered.
Yeah,
and you just don't look at the fact that she's just like she always was. You look at because
you don't want to believe that.
Yeah. You're trying to help your dog anyway.
Live for mornings. Is what you're saying. Live for the morning.
None of it works. None of it. All waste.
Let's try this one. You just went to Playa Linda Beach. You didn't go to the nude section,
correct.
Right? Okay. Get Tom all hot and bothered.
Hey y'all, just catching up on some ACTs, and you're talking about nude beaches, and it reminded me of the time I was visiting my sister up in Vermont, where she went to college near the city of Burlington, and we were walking through downtown Burlington, and I happened to see just some people, fully nude walking around in public, like that's living their normal daily lives. And I ask her what is up with that. She says, in the state of Vermont, or maybe it's just the city of Burlington, I don't know for sure, public nudity is legal if you leave your house fully disrobed. Once you're in public, you can't disrobe, and I guess the distinction is there to prevent predators from flashing or whatever. But just wanted to ask what your guys' thoughts on that. Where should public nudity be legal? I'll shut up and listen. Have a good one, y'all.
Is it okay? So he's saying if you leave nude, you're good.
In Vermont, yeah, you have to leave your house nude, and then,
I could do that. I think. But isn't it going to be so rare that other people that aren't used to it are still going to call the police on you, and then you're going to
probably,
and they're going to come, and then you're going to be like, well. And then you're going to do that move where you're like, well, based on sovereign citizen, based on statute 124185, I'm allowed. And then
I'm allowed to walk with this AR.
Exactly.
You're like, all right, well, you're scaring everybody.
Yeah.
Although
I don't think you can do. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I if you're talking about would I be fine with it around my sons, I don't care, and I would laugh at it. We do this thing called Wiener Alert in our house.
Excuse me, your house is insane.
Yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning.
Wiener Alert.
Well, that's crazy.
If I'm getting changed or whatever, let's say I'm doing the back, Crystal will be like, Wiener Alert, and then the boys will point.
It's like
and
the
laugh
band's
at me.
version of No Homo. You guys are so great.
Yeah,
You're a bunch of little Seth Petrozellis.
So we'll just say, and then when my sons get dressed, and then they show, and we're like, Wiener Alert.
What's your wife yell? What do
This
you
is
yell?
why they won't pee in the bathrooms by themselves.
What do you yell about the wife?
Oh.
They're afraid some stranger's going to yell Wiener Alert at them.
I mean, it's a clam.
Clam bake! Mississippi clam bake!
Yeah. So, anyway, I wouldn't be, if they saw a nude person, male or female, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a big deal for us either.
So it's not like they'd be traumatized by that. I don't think they
got like a blind bag unicorn toy, and there's this company that makes they sold them at Buc-ee's. We bought it at that Buc-ee's gas station, and there's this company that's like wildly popular in the Western and Feed and Seed type stores, and there's tons of them, and they sell these blind box toys that are like horses, equestrian type stuff, because that's the right, they're selling horse food and horse stuff, so they sell like horse toys because that's like culture. And Maisie got one of them from Buc-ee's and opened it, and it was a golden unicorn horse with a ginormous horse peen.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like, it's a girl, and I'm like, that's not a girl, baby, it's got a penis.
Why?
And she hates it now. She's like, it's got a penis, I hate it.
Was it a kid's toy?
Yeah.
Weird that it had a horse penis.
No, but it's just like anatomically correct.
Right.
It's not like
like lewd.
No,
it's
just like a penis. Like it's just like what horse. If you saw a horse, it would look. It's anatomically, it's a real horse.
I don't like it.
I knew you would.
Make it smooth.
Yeah.
Like what?
You're yelling Wiener Alert at your house.
I know, but that's real.
So is horses with penises.
Yeah, but it's a toy. I'm like, just don't put it on the toy. Like, yes, it's in real life, but you could leave it off the toy.
I'm for no toy guns. Like guns are no toy.
Like you pull down G.I. Joe's pants and it's just like.
Well, no, it's a horse.
I know, but I'm saying like I just don't need
I'm
it.
with you on that. I don't want to pull down G.I. Joe and see a G.I. Whatever.
Well, that's how, slippery slope, right? If like it's soon to be G.I. Joe.
I like how conservative you become. I like this. This is gonna get good.
Is it conservative?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I just don't want to see a horse. Sorry. Cut that out.
What, the part?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2, 3. Let's try. Oh, this one ties right in.
What's up, Tom and Dan? BD Americ here. I was listening to you say you're going to bring back the old Throbber merchandise. Now, I was one of those guys that waited in line for a golden Throbber. My wife pretty much forbid that from ever being in any sort of rotation. So now it's a change jar on my desk in my office.
Okay.
Now,
most of these mugs, by the way, are changed jars.
Yeah.
I can't talk. I bit my tongue out.
No. Well, also we had a week off, and then we did a marathon of recording today because we didn't have anything in the hopper or whatever.
Nothing in the hopper.
So
I wrote down one thing. I wrote down unicorn penises.
Well, usually we have shows pre-recorded on Monday, so we don't have too heavy a day. But coming back from vacation, it was just like a lot.
It's hot.
But yeah, most wives or anybody that's not insane is not going to have that in their house for their grandma and their kids to see or whatever.
But we're bringing it back.
Yes.
We
in a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, 100% bringing back the Throbber as a Christmas ornament. Super limited, super disgusting, and you'll love it.
Yeah.
Very limited, though.
And really, it was just for Daniel to bully Tony to make him send the Throbber design
but
to his
you know what? He
Chinese
passed it
guy.
off. He passed it off.
He did it?
Yeah, he passed it off to Pabone. Pabone did a little help on it because Tony gets really weird. But then the beauty is, though, that Tony does have to take the final art. And then he has to call China.
Yeah.
And then he has to email the man a
Chinese Tony. So I imagine there's like a doppelganger over it's just Asian Tony that he knows all the factories that make the stolen stuff because that's where we get it from.
I like that.
Anyway.
Lee Palmiotti.
All right.
You want to do one more or are we out of here?
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. And welcome to the show, everybody.
Let's do some Weird Job Wednesday.
All right. Weird Job Wednesday on deck. Go. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by StreamlineFlorida.com. Look at your finances. If it's time to refinance your house, call Streamline, because if you're paying mortgage insurance, you have equity in your house. Everybody does right now. Like, house prices are insane.
It would be hard not to have equity right now, right?
Yeah. Unless you just bought or something, you know what I'm
Sure,
saying? But if you
sure.
bought like 2 years ago, you got equity.
Or if you're a hoarder and you have one of those toilets with a pyramid of doo-doo in it.
That is bad. But people, flippers will still buy it.
Yeah. Flippers Pizza.
Delicious pizza.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Today.
You get a Presto trip.
So, or like you have credit card bills, or you have like a huge payment or something with high interest.
You pay my medical bills.
You know,
pay my telephone bills.
if you could refi your house with a lesser rate and pay all that stuff off, then I know people that save like $500 a month.
Well, we did
just by refi.
We did a lot of that. We took money out, we paid some stuff off, and then we put floors in my entire home, raised the value of my house.
Yeah.
You know, and actually save some money.
Dude, I dropped down to a 15-year, so my 15-year plan is the house is paid off.
Get the hell out of here if you want to. Rent that thing out of here, get in your RV, get in a spaceship. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or just take the money out and buy jet skis. A bunch of jet skis. You know, buy
More.
3 for yourself.
Yeah. Hey, we got Philip on the line. How you doing, Philip?
Doing well. How are you?
Philip, are you a fan of the jet ski?
Yeah, I haven't been on one for about 15 years, but I always scroll on the internet, always looking for one, just dreaming.
Me too. Me too.
I like Philip.
I like Philip.
You're a Florida man, right, Philip?
I was. I lived there for 10 years, multiple places. My favorite place was I lived down the street from you all in Baldwin Park, and I'd see you all walking around, but I never said anything.
Why didn't you say anything, Philip? Why didn't you be like, hey, Tom and Dan, screw you?
Wow.
I like that.
I'm surprised you're on the air still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not going to bother you. I would just listen to you and just drive around like, oh, there they are, but I just wouldn't say anything.
I'm kind of glad you didn't say anything, Philip, because to tell you the truth, I have enough friends right now and acquaintances, and I don't necessarily, I like you on the phone, and I want you to stay there.
And also, Philip, didn't you do the math? You're like, these guys aren't that famous, so it's not like you're bothering Tom Hanks
they're
at
walking down the
dinner or
street,
something.
for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like if I yelled like, hey, they'll probably be like, oh, someone listens.
Like,
that's
thank
good.
God somebody listens to our show. Philip, I'd be hugging your leg.
Or like, that gives us hope. Like, we have no hope, Philip. Like, if we just walk around town, no one says nothing.
Yeah.
And they treat us like normal people, and we're like,
And
well,
we're trapped.
this doesn't seem like it's going to work.
And we're trapped in this job. We can't get out of this.
No one even knows who we are.
Yeah, well, I had to see Dan run around in a scooter, but he would just go around the neighborhood for all I saw, so he never really left.
No, I don't leave the neighborhood. I ride my scooter in circles around the neighborhood. Everybody knows that.
Did you ever think about, like, what if I run into him and I'm the person that killed Dan?
I like that. Finally, you said something of substance on this program.
That had to have run through your mind a little bit, right?
Like
what if I'm on the news?
Yeah. I think about that all the time. I think about what if I kill Tom? What if I back over?
Yeah, I mean, it's like jumping off a cruise ship. You have these fleeting thoughts that are crazy.
You'd be famous.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has crazy thoughts.
Why are you guys putting this in listeners' heads?
I don't know. We should make it a challenge, right? No.
Who can kill us?
No!
Who can kill us
Put that out there.
It's never been done before, Sam.
It's my nightmare.
Yeah, it's the murder challenge.
I'm sure someone's not like, oh, I never thought of it. Anyway, all right, Philip, what do you do?
I'm a property manager.
So,
I've done houses. I did a little bit of apartments, and I'm back in houses now, single family.
okay, so do you work for a company that does this? I know there was our advertiser, I believe, Property Medics. They,
Oh, yeah.
they did property management, and
The weird thing about that, they went out of business because not a lot of houses have diseases.
they're still in business.
No, they're still in business. I'm joking. That's a joke.
But so
Your house has AIDS. I'm so sorry.
do you work for a company or just do it on your own?
No, I worked for like a small shop originally in Orlando for about 4 years until one day they pulled the rug out from under me and they shut down. So I had to go into maintenance. But mostly the company I worked for in Orlando had about 300 houses, mostly in Pine Hills, most downtown off of Paramore. So it was a real interesting day to day. Probably had about 5 evictions a month.
Ooh, yeah, okay. I was going to ask
you're dealing in like a socioeconomic, an area that, the houses are, it's a bad area, and you're going to get a lot of turnover and...
So, but you won't get a lot of people complaining that, things don't work as much, I feel, because... am I wrong about it? Okay. Because, I'm trying to figure out...
I've learned through this show that you're wrong a lot.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, Philip, because I was about to yell that your job was super easy because I'm imagining...
I still think you should yell that. Yeah. That's on brand.
I mean, that is
that's
on brand.
On brand.
Well, no, because now he's talking about evictions and things like that. That's super difficult to me and very awkward and horrible to do.
Look, I don't get awkward, but eviction might be the one that I don't think I can do that stuff.
You're gonna put a family out on the street.
I don't want that. No, honestly, I can say right now, and I don't get uncomfortable. I cannot do that job. I cannot.
I'll never do that.
If there's a family in a house, and I work for the guy, and the guy goes, "You got to go kick the family." I say, "I'm so sorry, I quit."
Yeah.
I cannot.
I'll work anywhere else, and there's a lot of jobs.
I don't think we've ever hit a job.
Almost every business is hiring, maybe 100% of them.
Philip, I don't think we've ever had a job that I've ever said I will not do, and this is this is one that I don't think I will do.
So going back to I thought it was easy is because I'm thinking of myself when I was a renter. I barely ever called the landlord or whatever for anything. I remember
fly under the radar.
Look, one time the AC broke and I called them, but other than that, there was 5 years I never bothered them. No one was ever repairing anything. It was just the house rented for 5 years, and I never bothered them. What management do they need?
The only time I ever called my property manager was when I was smoking outside in my bathrobe, and I locked myself out of my glass door, and trying to jimmy it open, I shattered the glass in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got it replaced. I cheaped out and replaced it with plexiglass. And when he came over to inspect it, he realized it was plexiglass, and he started knocking on it. He's like, "This is goddamn plexiglass!" And then he got mad, and he called me, and then my dad yelled at him, and I thought they were going to fight in the parking lot.
So, Philip, let's go back to the weird job. So, you have to go and evict families?
Oh.
I haven't lately because the company I work for now works in more high-end houses. So the houses we manage are like $250,000 up and up, and the ones we used to are around 50 to 100. But the evictions would happen more than often, and so sometimes these are ones you go in there with the sheriff, no one's there, so you're like, all right, fine, change the locks, you're fine. The awful ones are the ones you knock on the door, everyone's rubbing their eyes, sleeping, 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, I got one more day. The sheriff's like, no, you don't. You got to get out now. They're like, we'll call the office. I'm like, I am the office. And so they have to get off the property, onto the sidewalk, in their pajamas. And whoever's on the lease can't go back in the house.
You're a terrorist, sir. These little kids are in their sleepy eyes and pajamas?
He's
Give him a break. Give him a
standing out there.
day,
There's
fella.
SpongeBob pajama pants.
Oh.
Hold on,
The kids haven't had their breakfast yet.
Oh my God! All they want is a bowl of O's. They want a bowl of O's.
Delicious.
Hold on.
No almond milk,
but
full fat.
Philip knows it's just business. I mean, like they
Have
were.
a heart,
Oh my
man.
God! Scrooge van over here.
Yeah, he is.
They were renters.
Jesus.
I mean, it's not the kids' fault. Like the kid, I feel bad for
So
the
you
kids.
let them stay,
Well, I
but
blame
the
the
adults
parents.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, the parents knew. Like they're like,
It's Home Alone scenario.
I thought I had one more day. Like you're not even. There's nothing in boxes here. Like,
By the way, I say that for everything I mess up. I say I thought I had one more day.
But I understand that you're in a bad financial situation. There's a million different things that could happen. I mean,
Oh my God! Are you evicting someone right now? I hear a siren.
Like Philip, no matter what, and I just tried to play devil's advocate because I too feel like this is horrible, and I'm sure you felt bad. But what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't let someone stay in a house rent free forever. There's
Give
an
him a day, Tom, a day.
I mean,
there's an eviction time, but they gave him a day. They gave him a month.
Philip could do what I said to do, and he could quit his job and go work for someone else.
Yeah, but someone's got to do it, right?
No.
The economy.
Get a robot to do
The
it.
economy will
You
collapse.
got a robot.
A robot will be meaner.
Yeah.
Because they are cold.
It'll be logical. I don't think robot has a concept of mean.
Yeah,
if
but
you, if
They
he's
also
just,
don't have a concept of capitalism or money,
Yeah,
so they
if-
let the
Yeah,
kids.
but logical is, hey, we gave you a month. This is the day we told you
yeah, but
a
he's
month
like,
ago.
the robot's
you
just
have
gonna
to get
start
out.
burning the house down.
Yeah.
Well, that's even worse.
I like that better. I like the robot that's not on blood on anybody's hands. It's robot only.
So, Philip, did you ever feel so bad that you thought about quitting, or was it just like, hey, you justified it like, hey, we gave these people a month. Well, I don't understand why they waited till the last day, or they didn't know, and this is what it is. How do you justify
You get a month. You get a month, then you get 2 weeks, and then 24 hours, the sheriff comes and posts a notice, knocks on the door, talks to you, and says, look, we'll be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, and you have to be out. And then 24 hours later, we're there with the sheriff. Sheriff knocks on the door, tells everybody to get out. They clear the house, guns out and everything.
Oh, God.
And then,
Good God, we have guns out.
My God, I'm in there dressed like
Because
a
there could
child
be
hiding in a
someone-
closet, Alien Gonzalez style.
Correct. And then they get out. They're all very upset, screaming at me. By this time, the sheriff has already done his job, so goes and just leaves. So I got to deal with it. And you can't have anybody on the lease go back in the house, because if they do, they run back in and lock the door. That's squatters' rights. You have to go back to the eviction process
that.
all over again.
Oh, man, that's dumb.
you gotta-
So wait, you
play
kick-
chicken, you run back in.
Yeah,
you
it's
lock
like
the door.
wet foot, dry foot in
So,
Miami.
yeah.
It's like if you make 1 foot on dry land,
Yeah.
you
I
are
like that.
there.
Me too.
Yeah,
Now, hold on, Philip, you made it a game, so I'm kind of into this now. So you kick me out. I'm standing on the sidewalk,
As soon as that cop
shirtless,
leaves.
and I got SpongeBob pajama pants on, and I'm standing out there and I'm smoking. Well, I'm juuling. I'm a classy person. I got my jewel.
It's 2021.
Yeah, I'm tooting my jewel, and then I'm like, hey, I left my glasses in there. I need my glasses to read. And you're like, oh, and I run and I dive in and I lock the door.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start
Now
the
you're
process.
in, baby.
Yeah.
30 more days.
30 more days?
And then I yell squatters' rights through the window, and then
Yes.
I can open the door and just drink a beer in front of you and like flick you off. And
I'd go in and get you because then I'd be
I
like,
think you would go in and get
yeah,
me.
because I would tell you, listen,
I don't have Nest cameras in there to catch anything.
I'm gonna go in there and pull you out, drag you out,
And you would too. I know you would.
And you're gonna
Let me finish my jewel first.
You're gonna call the cops, and guess what? The same cop that just evicted you is gonna show up and believe me. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah, because I have no shirt on and I'm smoking my jewel.
So, Philip, what's the most awkward situation you've ever been in?
Was it an eviction or just ever?
Ever.
Well, yeah,
No,
as a property manager, like because I imagine that you've been in some awkward situations.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a 3-bedroom house with like 8 people in there, like 4 kids, 4 adults. The
That's
adults
fine.
are screaming and crying.
We
the
like it
kids are
tight.
crying. And
We're minimalists. We don't need a lot of space. You know what? Put out.
God, Philip, how? Okay, do you just have to shut off emotionally, or do you?
Are you listening to the call at all? I mean, does he sound like he's a Broadway star?
Because
I'm not hearing the emotion. I think I thought we were talking to you for a split second.
Well, because I understand that like you said, you gave him a month. the cops came and talked to them, posted a notice on the door, gave them 24 hours. So why don't they know? Why are they surprised when you come the next day for the eviction? So I can understand being like, hey, we went through everything. Why aren't you prepared for this? Why are you screaming and crying?
I got an idea.
It's still, that is horrible to deal with.
So Philip shows up to my door, and this comes from the chat room. I'm taking something that they said and putting a variation on it. So Philip shows up at my door. He knocks, and the cops are there, and they say, you got to go outside. I'm just going to answer the door completely naked. And then I'm just going to stay in my house naked, and they can't make me put on clothes.
I've seen cops before.
Are they going to go in there and tase me and then put clothes on my body? Or
they'll put the pajama pants on you. They go a handcuff. They'll do it.
It's impossible to open my legs.
They're
strong.
I've seen
strong little legs. Like these things are, because they're only 2 inches long. They're strong.
Or they'll take you to jail naked. I think.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
It's not a good time. It's cold and horrible, I imagine. So, Philip, besides from evictions, the rest of the stuff is what? Like fixings, minor problems, handyman stuff. How many times do they clog the drains with the female napkins, if you know what I mean? Because I imagine that happened a lot.
Every day that happens.
Every day? Every day you have to pull tampons out of a sewer system? My God, man. Quit your job.
I picked the most normal problem, right?
Well, you also picked the worst job. This guy, every day he's pulling tampons and kicking kids out of houses. I would kill myself. I would kill myself.
It does sound horrible.
It sounds horrible. When the best part is pulling tampons, that's the best part. I'm out.
No, it's, I don't do the maintenance anymore, but I was a property manager. I had a maintenance contract, so me and a couple other guys would go do what they call turns, like the renovations after someone moves out, or emergency calls, or just regular maintenance calls. And I was also a realtor too, so I did triple duty. But the maintenance calls, when you have to drag an auger on top of the roof to go down the vent stack because someone won't stop flushing baby wipes or tampons or condoms. Or
I support the condom one. I mean, those things.
Yeah, you put it in the trash like
you
an
put
animal.
It in the landfill. What if a baby finds out? You got to flush it. The alligators love them. They eat them up.
Well, Philip, there's the thing called rent-a-car syndrome, where you just drive around with a parking brake on, and you're like, it stinks in here. You just don't care about other people's things.
Rent-a-car syndrome?
Yeah,
Did you make that up?
No, I'm just saying.
That's fantastic.
It's just when you rent a house, and then you get mad. You're like, I wish I owned a house. You know what? I hate the guy who owns this house, and I have to pay his.
Even I do that. Like when we were in Colorado, I have a confession to make. We were in Colorado. The satellite radio of our rented 4Runner wasn't working. I punched it.
Yeah.
Because it's rent-a-car syndrome.
Yeah. And then when you're in a hotel, you're spraying it everywhere. You don't care. So people do that with the houses they rent, right?
Yeah. I've only the company in Orlando, I only gave a deposit back once. Other than that, we kept every one of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That one person, though, they must have been good.
Well, he actually didn't. He didn't get the full deposit back, so he got to clean the oven, and that's a $120 charge.
God.
So he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah,
I'd be upset too. It's an oven. It's going to get nasty anyway.
That's how they scam you.
$125 to clean an oven?
I remember when I left University Club, they charged, and we knew it because each individual room was a different lease or whatever.
Right.
But they charged me, the Grizz, and Pudge $30 for a light bulb on the back porch.
Yeah, specialty bulb.
They charged us all, and then it was $90. I was like, wait, because normally you wouldn't see everybody else's bill, but we all looked at it and we're like, they're charging. We didn't get our deposit, but they nickel and dime you everything because that's part of the business, like rent-a-cars.
It's a terrible business.
Yeah, it really is.
So, what's the best part about being a property manager? I imagine that when you get people that rent a house and never complain or call you or whatever, it's just. You never have to do anything,
when you
right?
get those amazing tenants, then you might form a good relationship with them, and then it becomes easy, or no?
Well, that's the best tenant ever is the ones you forget about. Because they don't ever call you. They pay their rent on time. if there's a little problem, you fix it. You don't hear from them for months to a year. But that can also be scary because they've been told you that the roof caved in and their bathroom's completely flooded and you can see the sky.
Oh, you know what? That's interesting. I never thought about the person that just, like you, that doesn't care. That like,
but they pay their rent, though, on time.
Yeah. I mean, like, he does. He's responsible, but he can also pee with, like, literally a hole over his head in the bathroom. The roof completely caved in. He'd be fine with that.
Dude, when I used to live in Heroin Alley,
you know it's true because he threw a dude on it.
And Goldenrod and Curry Ford. I remember I had those D had property management. Like one time, like I
feel bad for him. I think they have to be that way.
The AC broke and caused mold all in the system, and it was giving me asthma. I went to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe one time. Like my neighbor had to drive me.
My God!
And then
they started COVID.
They opened up and it was black mold all in the air handle. Like
it's terrible.
You probably could have sued that property management.
I'm like, I'm a dumb college kid. I don't even care. But I called them. I was like, it's in the middle of the summer too. I called them and I was like, it's hot, and they're like, we'll get to it. We're allowed 10 days. And then I was like, I can't live in this house for 10 days. Like, I can't turn on the AC. It's black mold. Like, and they're like 10 days. So
that's about right.
So I went to
one more day. I get one more day.
I went to a hotel and whatever, and then I tried to take that hotel bill off my rent, and then they threatened to sue me or evict me or whatever. Anyway, this whole fight, and I was like, I finally gave up. I was like, screw it. And then all of a sudden, there was termites. All of a sudden,
is that the swarm?
The swarm.
Oh my God! Yes.
And then there was a small swarm, and then a radio listener came by. The guy that
he just texted me yesterday, dude. The magnets.
Really?
Brad.
Yeah.
He just texted me yesterday. He's starting a history podcast.
Yeah.
He wanted some help.
So he came by and he's like, "Oh, you see this hole?" He's like, "That's a tester hole. Like some termites came out, but he's like, in the right humidity and temperature, a swarm of millions of termites will come out this house." He's like, this whole house is infested." And then I'm like, "Good," because I'm gonna leave it a month. So I didn't even tell him. I'm like, I hope this house falls down. I imagine a lot of renters get jaded and curmudgeoned like that and start doing bad stuff to the house. You ever had anybody pour cement down the toilets and that kind of thing?
Yeah. What's the worst vandals you've ever dealt with?
Probably the Orlando PD, because they went with a search warrant to this apartment and they suspected they were growing weed in the attic, and so they tore out all the ceiling. I'm talking about insulation, the whole ceiling. So when we went there,
gotta be thorough.
Everything.
Hold on, can't you just look?
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, they could.
No, I back the blue. You got to pull it all out. You know why? Because it's fun as hell to wreck stuff.
Yeah, this is
you and me with a fire hose.
Shooting someone's homeless.
Okay, we have this dream. It's called Tom and Dan Firefighters.
I knew the cops did this and the firefighters.
It's so fun. It's because it's fun.
Yeah, they're they're going weed. Like, pull the entire ceiling down.
Burn it down.
You could have just done a tester hole and stuck your head through it.
No, gotta be thorough, man. These dealers are getting smart. And if you and I were firefighters, we would take the hose in there while the house is burning. We would walk in there. You're behind me. You're the big one. I'm holding the hose. We're rooted 3, 2, 1. I pull the crank, and we use the highest PSI we have to blow everybody's pictures and memories all off the wall.
Your TV.
Yeah, I'm blowing your TV off the wall. I'm blowing the cushions off your couch. If your dog's anywhere near there, I'll blow that dog right out the doggy door. Like, I'm blowing everything. I don't want to hurt the dog, but I'll shoot him out the door.
Yeah,
he'll love it. He loves it. Look at him. He's licking it.
Yeah. So they tore the entire ceiling down, and that was it? They left. They're like, all right, no drugs.
No weed. We did a good job.
You have no recourse?
Let's go to Sonny's.
No, they left the search warrant, and then they said what they found. They found some loose 22 bullets and a bunch of baggies with the corners ripped out of them. But they found no other drugs. They ripped their couch apart, their beds. They ripped their TVs in half. They were in jail.
Wait a minute.
How do you even do that? Sawzall right down the center.
And they didn't find anything?
No, they found nothing. And then this happened on Thursday. Monday, we went to take possession. We go there. The windows are busted out. We're like, what happened? Go in. It's just decimated. So we were packing everything out. We're putting it in bags.
Terrible.
It is terrible.
We're putting it on the corner. And this is not the best neighborhood, so everything you put in the corner, people are taking. Well, they get out of jail in the afternoon, and they come there just livid, being like, "You threw all our stuff away." We were like, "We thought you abandoned it. We didn't know what was going on." He's like, I'm gonna kill you all. We're like, "Oh, okay." So I went home.
This is horrible. This is a horrible.
They took him to jail for some 22 bullets and a baggie.
I think there's probably something else, but the police reports they left there just said that.
Yeah,
they probably had a warrant. But they get out, and he's threatening us, and he's like in the parking lot being like, "I'm going to kill you." So I go home real quick, grab my pistol, and continue with work.
That'll make it better.
My God, your job just gets, it sounds worse
Dude,
and worse.
I got anxiety.
This may be the worst job we've ever, I mean, what
worst
job?
I don't want to say worse. Yeah, worse.
I mean, most stressful and hard. Like, but this is beyond manual labor.
Wait a minute, though. How much did he get paid?
Yeah, but
is there financial
we're
reward
getting there.
here?
But mentally, I would like to be on the record to saying mentally, this is the only job that we've done this bit for what, 2 years? I would not do this job.
Yeah.
Too
You've
hard.
done it for longer than 2 years.
3 years, 5 years. This is too hard. This job's too
8
hard.
years. Yep, it is too hard because now you're getting threatened. Your life is getting threatened.
Yeah.
You're grabbing a
Phillip,
pistol.
you're a real man.
Now you're going back with that. Now you're like, in your mind, you could be shot today. Like, well, what's
you
worth
don't
that?
deserve that.
Yeah, you're not a cop. Like, also you're evicting families, and there's tampons and doo-doo.
Yeah,
and a lot.
It's everything I hate.
And then some of nothing. And then you're nervous that, like, what if their roof caved in? And they're just crazy, and they don't tell me. So it all sounds
What do you
bad.
do? You go home and at the end of the night, and it's just you alone, and you fire up that China porno where she's got
oh yeah.
Don't talk
you
about
fire
it.
up One Night in China.
Who was the wrestler in there? Was it
X-Pac?
X-Pac.
Well, no, she did a full blown porno. We were talking about this off the air, is why I brought it up. She did a full-blown porno that Ghost of Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, said that they had another porno actor dress up like Mean Gene Oakland and give her the business. And,
I've never seen that one.
He says it's magnifique, so I'm going to have to find that.
Yeah.
So what's in the cases here?
Yeah.
Show me your guns.
So my company right now is called Power to Improv. And, so that's like the umbrella over everything that I do. I have another company that's called The Monster Company, and I make monster puppets.
What?
I have small ones I'm going to show you right now, but I also have larger ones where one hand will go into to control the head and the mouth. The other hand actually goes in, and his whole arm and hand is a glove that you go into. And now he can talk and hold a mic.
Well, hold on a second. Now you're getting into some Muppets type stuff, and that's where it gets off the rails.
Yeah.
Because that's real puppets.
I have a monster puppet that I made. His name is Toby, and he likes doing stand-up. The only thing is he steals all my material.
I like that.
So I'm like, my days of doing stand-up is over because he's taking it all. But
this is cool. I dig it.
So right now I have 42 monsters. I have a room this big just full of puppets.
Tom hates puppets. I don't know if you can see.
No, I don't.
I don't know if you can see how uneasy he got.
Puppets.
Let me guess. Puppets are for babies.
No, I understand. No, I mean all the puppeteers.
I love doing voices for puppets. Can I play with your puppets?
Well, this is what I'm going to do. Because I am a maker of puppets, I have made you both your own.
How cute.
What?
The reason why they're in cases so that they don't get flattened, and that along this journey you're going to find things for them. All my puppets have glasses, they have bow ties. I'm going to show you one of my, that he's dressed as Robin, and that's how he goes to the Orlando MegaCon. And basically I get interacting with Batman with him because the Batmobile only has one seat, so that means that Robin has to sit in the trunk.
I never thought about that.
The villains all love.
I always thought he was sitting in the floorboard, like pushing the gas and brake, and other things.
So these are for you guys. This is yours.
All right.
Okay.
I hope yours has a
now.
I hope yours is ricin.
So you guys get to keep these. They're yours.
Can I open it up?
Well, of course. How else are you going to see it?
Open it up now. Okay. Oh, this is so dope. Oh my God! This is like a. Oh yes. Hold on.
So I figured these are like your inner monster, like things that you don't want to get in trouble for. Your monsters can do.
Oh, I love my monster.
I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to be a podcaster like Daniel. He's so crazy.
Oh, I love this. I'm in my element.
This is your calling.
Best thing you ever get.
And that starts Daniel's kid show. You can see it online.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, what's up, Stinky?
I don't know if Tom's going to be down with the puppets parts and the voices. He doesn't like it very much, and he certainly's looking at me like he wants to punch me in the face.
No,
Yeah, don't worry about him. He's just rough around the edges.
I almost started chanting, "Make me a bird." So
you're not even doing yours.
not
dude.
doing
I don't hold it.
You put your hand in the
It's a
puppet.
goddamn puppet. What do you need to know about it?
He's never used a puppet before.
What you'll find is when you put
I'm not
put your
joking.
hand inside where the mouth is, there's actually a little loop that your finger goes through. So this way you never lose grip on making your mouth talk.
You put your middle finger in the loop.
Hold on. Oh, it's in the top? Hold on.
Oh, my God.
I thought there was only supposed to be
How do you put on
one.
condoms?
What a sailor?
What voice do you want for this one, Sam?
The one you were doing was really good.
I was thinking.
No, the higher pitched.
How you pitch like that?
Yeah, that,
it's
I
almost
like
like
that
an
one.
Elmo.
It is pretty close to Elmo.
So
Let's go.
Oh my God.
get the hell out of here, Butler.
Mine looks like a stoner thing. Hey, what's up?
I thought there was
Oh, I
supposed
like
to be
that
only
one.
one stick.
man.
Like traditionally, isn't there one stick?
Well, I mean, if you only had one hand, bro.
Yeah.
But I've got two hands. That's why I've got two
And
sticks.
their fingers are posable. So,
Why don't you have some fun in your life for once, bro?
Okay, so
You are so lame.
Matt.
Yes.
This is the funnest Daniel's ever had. By the way,
yeah, I'm so stoked. I can't wait to go home and like.
well,
talk.
this is the thing. This is the secret about puppets. You take them home. You play with the kids, and what's going to happen is something very magical. And I know it just sounds weird because it's magical, but you will find your puppet's soul. And how you find their soul will control everything. Big Bird, his soul is all about wonder and asking questions. Elmo is all about giving hugs.
And my soul, man, my soul's all about eating, man. I eat so much.
Come on, I guess. Well, I was just saying that for the match.
I don't know.
You're promoting his comedy
I'm
festival.
finding the soul, Tom. I'm finding the soul.
I feel like I'm driving to go pick up my sons. I'm like, hey, kids, I want to see this puppet soul.
Don't say that. Also, you made Tom's puppet almost like Oscar the Grouch, and he's quite the Grouch.
Look how boring his puppet is. His puppet has just got like green fur. My guy's crazy and all kooky.
Okay, so Matt,
Hey, man.
So I'm sure you give courses and classes about how to properly do this.
You have to do the interview as the puppet, Tom.
No, okay. Well, I want to figure out. You got to teach me how to do it because honestly, I'm not even joking.
He's struggling with the arms. There.
I may have never put on a puppet before, and like never.
Okay. Look, I don't get serious on the show.
It's all right, you're a puppet virgin. It's all right.
My purpose is not to ever get serious on the show. But I'm going to pause for a second and just say that hearing you say, I may have never put a puppet on my hand, that's sort of sad, bro. That's a little sad.
Hold on, man.
And I did grow up with puppets. My mom had puppets. She was a librarian. We did this kind of stuff. Yeah, I like this kind of stuff. It's fun. And I'm sorry. I won't make fun. I won't make fun of you anymore.
I'm like, I'm talking. You can see that I'm talking. So,
hey man, I'm sorry you didn't ever worn a puppet before, bro. It's making me really sad and bumming me out. It's really making me want to eat some bro.
Come on, you're making Samantha work too hard.
I'll do it.
Matt, how? First off, where do you start from? Where do you get over the block that I'm having right now of even trying to have fun? Just start. How do you like
How do you
fun?
have fun?
I've never seen a guest that's ever come into the show before that's been so polarizing. And what I mean by that is a compliment, where you've made me literally the happiest boy in Orlando, and you've made him the most confused. I've never seen that. We've never had a guest this polarizing.
So, like, where do we start?
Well, just like what Daniel's doing, you literally just sit there and just start letting him talk and talk to him. When you talk to him, make him look right.
Yeah, maybe just work with the mouth first, and then we'll get to the hands.
This is the thing he hates the most, though, is to pretend like watch
make
this.
believe.
Like me doing this, like, hey, what kind of sandwich you eat today?
I went to Arby's and I had a big Montana, and it was so good.
Like that?
Yeah,
you would die doing that, right?
He's show ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
I mean, look at him.
What does that mean?
Look at his shirt. He's wearing tie-dye shirt.
He looks like a Muppet.
I
do look like
he used
a
to do
Muppet.
this with like his mom and the puppet shows. Like he did this. He made voices. He does the thing.
As we're talking, his resume is being updated, going puppeteer.
Hey, watch this, man. This is how I pump my wife.
No, come on. So
This is too much fun. This is mine to keep, for real?
Yes.
Oh, my God. You made me the happiest man. This is like better than my wedding day. This is fantastic.
So I got to start by talking to it. To the
See how you make him talk? No.
Okay, well, I understand that, man. It's for me. I understand the concept of you move the mouth and it talks, but
You got to come up with a character, a voice.
What's his name?
A personality.
well, okay. I'm going Greeny.
All right, that's very creative. Greeny.
God damn, you're like my daughter. What's the snail's name? Snaily. Like, you bitch. It's not.
What? You said it. You can't go. It can't
All right.
be wrong. You said what's
Yeah,
his name?
let's not be
his
too
name
critical.
is Staley.
Now, I'll tell you
I'm with Maisie.
a lot of people think that when you do puppets, you have to, not look like you're talking. You do the ventriloquist stuff.
Yeah.
I am not a believer of that. If you've ever seen the Broadway show Avenue Q,
Yeah.
if you haven't, you have to see that. Because it's adult puppets in a whole Broadway show. And their whole thing was, we're going to talk right here next to the puppet, but we're going to make the puppet look so alive, we disappear. And I do that times where I'm just shocked, where I'm like, I'm a big guy. And they're looking at the puppet and asking questions of the puppet, and they can't see me. Their brain did that. You know?
Literally, where your brain will just substitute the you for the puppet, and then you're like, "Oh, that's the puppet talking."
Yeah, and it's being interactive. It's being bringing motion with their arms, and yeah, you can use both arms. It takes a little practice.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
it's so
this is why
hard.
my brain can't do that. I just look straight at the human talking. I'm like, "That's him." There's like magic tricks. I'm like, I
figured it out. You're not the puppet. All right.
Oh, my God.
All right, so
Come out to my ice cream truck. It's right outside.
Yeah, I like that.
all right, I'm gonna try this for Matt and for the effort of having fun.
Give it a go, man.
And also do it. Think about your boys. How you're going to introduce this puppet to them. They're going to
Yeah.
lose their mind.
They're going to love it.
So
They're going to be fighting over it.
It's easier if I pretend like I'm talking to my boys. Can I
Yeah,
do
do that.
All right, because if I
Pretend
talk
that Butler is Tommy right
like
here.
I don't like entertaining myself. So like, what is that for? All right, so here we go. Okay. Hey, Tommy and Max. What do you like? Would you rather die of cancer at age of 70 or be murdered at 80? Think about it.
Oh, it's a murder puppet. Okay, I got it.
You're okay.
Interactive.
I don't know about that, man. You ain't ever gonna eat.
He's ruining it, Matt. I can't do it.
It's just
if he's keep saying that.
It's just too fun to curse with a puppet over here. I'll stop. I'll promise.
This is
I
the
got
thing.
it, Sam. Just give me the time
It's
code.
something that doesn't happen within moments. It does take time to work on because, like Elmo, actually was thrown in the trash because if you listen to on YouTube, the original shows with Elmo in it, and it was some big guy with a deep voice. They got tired of it and threw him away. The intern took him home, found his voice. He became Elmo.
Look at that.
So
that's a hell of an origin story.
I kind of want to hide when I do this. Is that can I? Because I want to do.
Go under the desk and then put Greeny in front of the Twitch
Let
camera.
me take off my joggers.
Like, is it because I?
Yeah,
okay.
you feel like people are looking at you. You feel uncool. I get it.
Yeah. Because
just pretend you're on your one wheel. Think about
I get that's for me. I don't think
Dude,
other
I'll
people.
give you $100 bill if you'll ride your one wheel with a puppet on your hand.
Yes.
And do this while you're going down the road.
Right by Castleberry Elementary.
Oh, don't do that.
Gun me down.
It's a pedophile. The pedophile of the future.
So,
You gotta try a different voice too. That was just your voice, by the way.
well, that's what I have a problem because you're
Maybe
looking
I'll
at
do
me.
the tomboy. Hi, God.
Everyone look
Hi,
away
boy.
from Tom as he does Greeny.
Well, I'll go under the desk
Okay.
and I'll bring the mic,
All right.
and then I'll talk
There
to
he
you
goes.
guys.
All right, you can see this all twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live or on YouTube. Search Tom and Dan Live. You can see all
We
of our
could just
puppets.
close our eyes and we don't see
No,
it.
I'll go down here.
Okay, you got to
Am
go.
I out of the camera view?
Yeah, you're out. Yeah,
Okay, hold
that's
on.
good. You got to put him up high. Okay, that's good. Oh, man, this might be the way we do the show from now on.
I love it.
Okay, you're in. Yeah, well, you were in. Okay.
What's everybody's puppets' names?
My puppet's name is.
My name's Mr. Snarts.
I'm Max.
I'm Greeny.
Hey, Greeny.
Hey, Greeny, what's up? It's Mr. Snarts. You want to buy some cocaine?
Hey, Mr. Snarts. What do you like doing?
I like cocaine. And something that I said I wouldn't say anymore because Sam gets mad.
Hey, Max.
Yes.
What's going on, bro?
Not much. Just here hanging out, chilling with the bros.
All right. I notice you have those toolboxes pretty clean for toolboxes. My pop-up wouldn't like that.
Oh, you want it dirty? I can dirty it up.
I like it dirty.
I like it dirty. I like it dirty too, man.
Oh.
Let's have an orgy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Suck my green.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you like it when I'm pumping you, Greedy? Oh, yeah.
That's what we need. We need dirty puppets.
Hold on,
isn't it?
Hold on.
Isn't it? I told you it's fun.
We can't even air that.
Yeah, we can. We can air all of this. We just have to.
It's Daniel's fault because I feel his energy and I feel him wanting to go dirty.
Yeah, it's fun.
So he's making me go dirty. I wanted to. I can't. You know what it is? I don't think I could do improv with anybody else but you.
Yeah.
And
that's the way I set it up. I've engineered it's a foolproof plan that you can only do improv with me. No one else.
So
you're mine now.
So Matt, do you find
I'm too hot? I'm laughing and I don't know what's happening right now.
Other people, it's hard to be okay. To be honest, we do. Me and Daniel do improv every day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where we're going, but we get into that comfort zone of that.
Yep.
So it's like I'm comfortable with that, but super uncomfortable with this, which kind of makes me want to take one of these classes or do this because I'm scared of it.
Yep.
I'm terrified of getting on stage or even being with strangers, even with you. Like, I'm nervous.
But if you got past the block because of what you do, I think you'd actually end up being really good at it because it would be so difficult. But once you got past it, I think you'd be free. I really do.
And if you don't want to be seen, then honestly, start a TikTok channel just with him. And it's him going on there giving advice about something. And you're going to find
have a TikTok channel.
And hold on a second. This is I don't believe
Greeny's advice.
I don't believe in much, but what does Tom love?
TikTok?
Money.
Well, money is the same color. What does Tom love? He's in his backyard, his plants.
Oh, yeah.
What color is Greeny?
Yeah,
Green.
give us some plant
Why don't
advice.
you do plant advice or Greeny? He's a green thumb, green greeny, greeny, green
There
with the
it
green thumb.
is.
It all weaves together. I don't believe in much, but that's
Greeny with the green thumbs.
That's a little too perfect for you, man.
So Matt, let me ask you some honest improv advice because I feel myself like when me and Daniel are talking or whatever, I constantly look for whatever the most funniest thing or ridiculous or what could be the most entertaining thing at this particular time to make someone laugh, right? But and a lot of improv, like you said, it doesn't have to be go for the joke at every single time. Just go with the story or keep it going, the conversation going, the scene going, or whatever. Don't necessarily jump towards funny at all times.
There'll be times that you'll do something and the audience will just break up laughing, going, "What did I say?"
Because you didn't even you didn't mean for it to be funny, and it just naturally happens. I guess
they want Greeny's gambling advice. That's not a bad idea. A puppet
Twitch is asking for it.
Yeah, a puppet that gives you gambling advice, not a bad idea.
So, okay, when you how do you know when to end a scene too? Because when you're like for instance, when me and Dana are doing this,
that's a great question.
There's a time period.
I don't think I know.
Yeah, because you constantly want to keep it going. So when you're trained to do yes and, how do you know when it's done? Because the ending at the right time is also a skill to learn. Because you could make it go on too long, no matter how funny it is or whatever. It has to have an ending.
Or can't you diminish? Maybe you hit a climax, you hit a joke that was so darn delicious and great. And then you continued, and it almost we should have ended on that.
When you're on stage, it's not just you. So anyone that's on stage with you, literally, they do this, and the lights go out. It ends that scene. So it's not all the pressure's not on you. The ending is going to come when it's supposed to. Now, could it go too long? Yeah, and after the show, we'll go, okay, that went 2 beats too long. And over time, you'll learn that when you hit that high note and everyone laughs, you end it.
You'll feel it.
Yeah.
We do that then. We do that naturally. It's funny that came because we'll know.
Yeah, when something's like, done.
Yeah,
Right here.
or we'll know when to shift. It's extremely, well, I say it's extremely similar. It is exactly the same thing, except we're just not on a stage. We don't have a puppet.
Well, you'll know because you finish chapter 1, and if you go too long, you go into chapter 2. So
Gotcha,
you want to finish at the end of chapter 1.
So how long does it take to make a puppet like this?
These are great.
These guys here, about, if I have time, which is something I don't normally have, about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because you got to give them time to cause you use everything from glue and sewing, and you want to make sure, like the eyes are set and so they don't come off. I think that'd be horrible.
Yeah. So, are there any puppets in this weekend show? Like any improv groups?
I know that the Society Circus from Miami, which is an amazing group, they have a puppet, and what they do is they have several props that they actually give out to the audience, and the audience decides when they enter the games in the show. So they may be doing a scene, and they can literally walk up and give the puppet. Now the puppet's now in the scene, and now it's a full-on character.
Oh, that's cool.
So, each of these groups that come out, the shows are 100% different, even though it's improv. It's crazy.
I feel like, is this like all ages thing too? Or you suggest?
The only thing is that the stand-up can be a little blue.
Yeah. Sure.
But they're not going to be like, crazy with it.
Yeah, not like my puppet.
Not like what happened today.
Mr. Snarts. Mr. Snarts is out of control.
It's funny, I got a message from your puppet saying he wants to be in the festival now.
So you could probably bring your 12-year-old or older than that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are different variations of improv, but we all do shows everywhere, so they're family friendly. If it was anything other than that, there would be advisories up. Because our biggest thing is to let people experience these different types of improv and have fun and laugh. Because in today's day and world, laughter is something that's needed a lot because way too many people are so serious.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing I constantly battle against, not being pulled into a discussion on Facebook and all something like, none of that matters. And you bring out a puppet. It's like, hey, who cares? Let's make cookies.
Yeah. I like the puppet way.
Don't look at my Facebook. All vaccine.
There are different, total different experiences if dealing with an adult and dealing with a child. I always laugh when how adults are what I call puppet racist. If I have a green puppet, they'll go, "Oh, it's Oscar the Grouch." I'm like, "Ma'am, that's being racist. We're not all Oscar. Sorry."
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
or they'll see a blue one and go, "Oh, come over here, kids. It's Cookie Monsters." Like, how dare you?
That's good. Puppet racist.
That's something I can get into.
You did do a weird racist Mexican voice for a minute there. It kind of went that way, and I was like,
"That's my TikTok." Greenie, the racist Mexican.
You know what? TikTok, 1 million followers.
I'm making nothing.
Oh, Matt, thanks for coming in. Man.
Thank you guys.
I really appreciate it. Saturday, October 2nd. Or wait, Friday, October 1st. Saturday, October 2nd. Yep. 2 days. $25 for the weekend pass, correct? And you can see all kinds of great improv, all kinds of great stand-up. And where's it at again? I don't have my glasses.
It's on iDrive.
Yeah, it's the, where'd it go?
Where could people
Avante Palms Resort and Convention Center,
there we go.
Right on iDrive. And, again, I'm all about opportunity. And if there's somebody out there saying, you know what, I'm not working, I have no way to even afford this as a luxury for me, on our site we have a page for volunteers. If you want to come and see the shows, you sign up as a volunteer, you'll help seat people, take tickets, and you get to see the shows too.
That's a great deal. Come help out for a little bit and then go see some shows.
What website should people go to?
Well, you'll see everything if you go to my website, which is Power 2 Improv. It's the number 2.
Okay.
On there, you'll see everything about my improv shows, the conventions that we're doing, the festival. You'll see everything about the monsters are on there. You'll actually see photos of my monsters and the ones that we did at the library when we have a class there of these kids that made puppets that I'm looking at their parents going, do not let them stop doing this. That they made puppets that were just so amazing. I'm telling you right now, they're gifted.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. And I would send them patterns. Like, here's a regular pattern for a puppet. You get to put the eyes and all that on there, but this is how you make it.
That's awesome, man.
Once you learn to make something, you can't forget that.
Yeah.
So power, the number 2, improv.com.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, Matt, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate the time. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Thank you for the puppets.
Yeah,
I love Mr. Snarts. He has a great home.
Again, the Orlando Comedy Festival 2-day event, Friday and Saturday this weekend. Check out power2improv.com for tickets and everything else, and we will see you in a little bit.
Welcome back to a corporate time. Let's jump into your emails. show@tomanddan.com if you'd like to leave us one, and we certainly do like them. First email.
This is about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Tom recently mentioned that his sons have started watching the Super Mario Brothers Super Show with Captain Lou Albano starring as Mario. Albano?
Captain Lou Albano, I think.
I watched the show as a kid and absolutely loved it. At the end of each episode, there's a song called Do the Mario, and I would jump to my feet and dance along with Captain Lou to cap off my Saturday mornings. There's one bizarre footnote in the history of the show, though, and that's the PSA they did for drug awareness. It starts off with the normal don't do drugs message you'd hear in the 80s, but at the very end, it takes a hard left and catches you off guard. I won't spoil it for you, but I'll attach the link for reference. Forever doing the Mario, Ryan. He did send me the link. Oh, you got it?
I think I got it. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go in here. I got to manipulate my screen a little bit. Hold on here.
So
that looks correct.
Okay.
This is a weird show that is still...
I have to look this up on YouTube and watch it when I'm high.
It's odd. I watched it as a kid.
It's on either Netflix or Hulu or something because my sons watch it or have watched
Well,
it.
it could be on YouTube, right? Don't they watch a lot of YouTube?
Yeah, maybe they was coming up on YouTube. You might be right.
This is a young Captain Lou. Like, he looks good. Now, I remember him as the wrestling manager who hung out with Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
And had a bunch of rubber bands in his earrings and in his beard.
Yeah,
It was all about the rubber bands, Captain Lou Albano. But he was always a manager, and it led me to believe that in his younger days, I'm just guessing because I didn't look him up. I'm guessing he was a wrestler. And when wrestlers start to decline, pain pills, you get fat, and then you become a manager, right?
You're so good talker.
So you can still party and talk.
Yeah. And you get paid by being this character, right?
Right. So here is Captain Lou.
And you can take some bumps because all managers end up getting
well,
beat
you've
up
already
early.
taken bumps, so your body knows how to do it. I mean, even I know how to take a bump. Like, I could do a bump right here. Well, I wouldn't want to do it on this carpet, but I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to do it on the ground and tuck your neck so you don't, hurt yourself. All right, here is the Captain Lou, Just Say No to Drugs.
He looks like he's on drugs.
Yeah, he does look a little
I'm sure he was.
He's on cocaine right now.
Here we go.
Lou Albano talking about drugs. Kids, don't be afraid to say no. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Oh my God! Before you die.
I like the producers are like, that wasn't on the script.
No, you went rogue, Lou.
Like, can you do one without the hell part? Because that wasn't on the script.
I want to hear it again.
Don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Please.
At the end. He's like, I know, I'm in living hell right now. The hell? You guys were weird in the 80s.
Well, he went rogue. He thought he was doing good, right? Like, he thought he was like, I'm going to throw the hell
he was
thing in
improving.
there. I'm going to go rogue and throw the hell thing in there. That'll keep some kids
That
off
was
drugs.
like old Greenie the other day.
And you know what? He probably did do some good. I bet you there were some kids who
whoa,
were
I don't want to go to hell
grew
before I
up in
die.
a religious family who heard Captain Lou say that, and they're like, I don't want to be in the lava with Hitler. I'm not roasting alive.
Sounded like the guy from Shark Week who flushed his underwears down the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain Lou.
So it's funny because there's like a whole internet full of PSAs by like people
that should not do PSAs.
They were on drugs at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think
all,
the
like,
best is that
famous for doing drugs the entire time while they were
Didn't
doing.
like Rob Lowe have to do one as part of like his
not a court
role?
ordered. Yeah.
Like my favorite was Johnny
Robert Downey
Depp's.
Jr.
I
Yeah.
don't
Johnny
know if I remember
Depp's
his.
about like taking animals.
Oh, now
into,
he's like open about doing cocaine. He doesn't care.
like he took.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was in the court case. He was like, "Oh yeah, I do cocaine all the time."
Yeah, like he took. Remember when he took his pets and he shouldn't have taken his pets or whatever, and it was like a big deal. And then he had to do like some PSAs about like taking your pets to Australia or whatever he did.
Oh, right.
The thing about Johnny Depp too, he's got this new commercial for some sort of cologne where
Yes.
it's like him playing guitar car and like some wolves.
Yeah.
And it's like garbage. It's like weird because it's all dated. Like he's still rocking the rosary beads and the 1,000 wooden beads necklaces and
the
a
scarves.
Vest. Yeah, scarves and vests.
And the
all.
mini top hat.
Yeah, like a mini top hat. You look like you train cats for a living. What the hell's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Well, he's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a super talented weirdo. Like,
he's addicted to the fame, though, or he'd tuck in, right? There's so much bad press about that guy now. You'd think he'd just tuck in and enjoy his life.
He wants his comeback because he wants to come back from being called a domestic abuser.
Yeah, but he is a domestic abuser, according to, like, most people, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't been convicted, though.
I get it, but, like, when 1 million people...
or a lot of people tell the same story, it's probably
just
like, there's something there.
Yeah, there's something there. So
who knows what it is, but it's something.
My thing is, like, why
He's a narcissist.
Why not tuck in and just... Yeah,
he won't.
He won't.
Well, also, he's a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're saying what a rational person would do facing his circumstances, but he's not going to do that because he's not rational. He's a weirdo, and he's a talented weirdo.
Yes.
And that we all enjoy his movies, but a lot of times we can't, we expect the super talented actor or musician or whatever to have like a normal life. That's what we want for them. We want them to be like, wow, they're insanely brilliant or like acting like this, and then they go back and they're just like us, and you're like, oh, they're not just like us because their brain works differently. You know what I'm saying? It's like Kanye West, like he writes the music, he suffers from bipolar, and like his brain works differently. So that's why he's doing.
There's also a thing I think with Johnny Depp is like he's been rich and famous for so long that he's so out of touch.
His
you know
reality is different.
Yeah, his reality is completely different. Cannot relate.
Yeah, you mix weirdo with a weirdo reality of being famous and rich for 25 years. I mean, how long has Johnny Depp been famous and rich?
More than
longer than that. Yeah,
30 years.
He's a kid actor, right?
Yeah.
Like he's teens.
So he's never had a normal life. So why do we expect him to be normal?
You're correct.
But with that, then you start getting into where, okay, now you're not only a weirdo, but you're a horrible person to people, and
could be,
to your past girlfriends and all this stuff, like all these stories coming out. It's like, well, that just makes you horrible. You could be as weird as you want as long as you're not hurting other people.
Right.
When you start hurting,
I'm pretty weird, dude. I don't know if you know this, but I don't like knocking women around. It's just not my thing. It does not. I don't like knocking anybody around. Right? Like hitting a human is not a thing to do. It's just not. Maybe when I was a young baby, figuring out.
You don't know any better.
Just not, I'm not that guy. And slapping people around, I'm a middle-aged man, and that's not my vibe.
Let's do another email.
I'm liking the emails.
Hot toilets and hot hoses.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Hola, Dan. Is it? Oh, yeah, sorry. Hola, Tom, Dan, and Sam. Wiener alert. It was a funny show, and I loved it. I don't know what I give you a month, but I feel like it's worth it. Anyway, there was a discussion about how hot water can come from a garden hose. I believe the sun is a good answer.
He's right. How many times as a kid did you
but that only lasts a few seconds.
Yeah, but it always hit me in the face because
depends how long the hose is.
That's true.
It lasts. All the water in the hose heats up to, it is hot.
Don't know.
There are a myriad of stupid things that can only be explained by the individual, but in my experience, it came from the hose lying in the sun, and then the valve is turned on and blasts the super hot water on unsuspecting kids looking for fun, but get burnt first. And the hot toilet thing, so comfy. I did it on accident once at a remodel and used it before I fixed it. The porcelain was the perfect temperature and so comfy. The customer also enjoyed it, but didn't want to pay the extra electric bill. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I call BS on that because toilet seats are two-part. If you're heating the porcelain, you're not heating the seat. The seat is wood or plastic.
But by proxy, it might heat it a little bit.
I don't know, man.
But
I think this guy's just trying to say something to impress us.
The initial hot water goes into the holding tank in the back, so that's when it's going to be the hot. Then you flush it, and it only fills a little bit of.
It swirls the sides. It doesn't even hit the edge of the porcelain on the top.
Yeah.
So my point is, you're not going to feel that heat. You're not going to feel that heat
unless the heat from the holding tank somehow can translate.
Radiates heat through the whole thing.
Seems like
I don't want to be hot when I deuce.
No,
but you want to be like a good, not cold. You don't.
I would rather, on the flip side of this email, I would rather, much like the old bro bar that you and I used to go to, Club 23 in downtown Orlando. I would rather have I'd rather be deucing on some ice cubes.
Oh, yeah. Like in the
Keep
old...
it cool, man. Yeah, chill it out.
Ember, or not Ember.
23.
Yeah, was it 23?
It was called 23.
Yeah. Above Mako's?
Yeah. It was like some private club that these guys opened. The guys that owned Mako's at the time opened this club called 23. And they were like, oh, yeah, this is like super exclusive and only you guys could be there. And like we went up there and you go into these, like,
the
everything
Oak
was
Room.
wood, the Oak Room. There's like, well, but 23 was off the side of the Oak Room. And it was just like, it looked like a library. And you would just go in there. It was like this fancy room. And I'd look around. I'd be like, this is where people cheat on their wives. Like, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
He said the customer also enjoyed it but didn't want to pay the extra electric bill. People flush a lot, so the toilet remains a warm temperature throughout the day. Again, yes, if you turn on your hose when it's been sitting out in the sun, yes, immediately it will come out hot. But that is not... It's not like when you're hooking up a sprinkler the whole time it's going to stay hot.
Yeah. You'd have to hook it up to, like I said, a laundry or outside sink or something that you had hot water access to.
How hot can water get? What's
from the just regular
like your sink or shower temperatures?
Because I feel like my water from my hot water heater is extraordinarily scalding hot. Like it's
you could set it. You could set you can make it hotter if you want. I think it only go up legally to a certain temperature, but I'm sure you could hack that.
Overclock it like a computer or something.
I'm sure there's plumbers out there.
I want it steam coming out of my
love it boiling.
Yeah, I like it hot too, but it's not good. I heard
it dries your skin out.
Yeah, most people say it's not good for you to do like really hot showers.
But it feels so good.
It does feel good.
I've been thinking about getting an instant a water heater. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Like you can heat
as
it by
much
gas.
as you want.
As long as you want. And then you can eliminate the holding tank. And they say it's more efficient,
it's safer
doing
too.
the instant. But it's one of those things where, yes, you could save some energy and you take it's less space or whatever, but your actual experience is not that different because who runs out of hot water or the hot water heater regularly? Is it because of all the showers?
I think it's more about Maisie and Andrea's long hair. And taking longer showers, like washing hair, washing 2 sets of very long hair, conditioning, rinsing, washing a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And then by the time I pull a Tom Van, you'd be very proud of me. I don't say a word. I just get in there and take my cold shower and keep my mouth shut.
Could you get an instant heater?
I want one.
Yeah,
I think I could.
Well, you need gas, and I don't know if you could.
No,
get
maybe
gas.
Not with the townie. No,
yeah,
you're probably right.
Unless Baldwin has some sort of natural gas hookup, because sometimes they do. Like,
I don't know.
You just have to ask about it.
I'd have to look into
But if
that.
not, then there's no way to get the instant heater.
It would be cool if I did get it, though. I want it so bad. Keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause you.
Dead Dad's Club question. Hey, gang. So this has probably been discussed and answered before, but as I've been listening for about 10 years now, it kind of all runs together. My question is, are you a member of the Dead Dads Club if the main male figure who raised you is dead, but your actual dad is still alive?
Yeah, it's the person it's the person that your daddy, your father, the person that loves you.
Yeah.
So it says, for example, I was raised by my grandparents. Not that my parents weren't around; they were just young when I was born, 16 and 18. My grandfather passed away in 2013, and my dad is alive today. So does that make me a member of this unfortunate club, or technically no?
Yeah, it does.
Well, not that this club most people want to be a part of or anything. I was just curious as to your thoughts. Thanks for your time. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to your response.
Yeah, because the dad implies that they were your dad, which means they took care of you or had some influence in your life.
What if you were raised by a single mother and then your mother dies?
Yeah,
part of the Dead Dads Club?
Yeah, you're in.
Dead Moms Club.
But also single moms sometimes fill the role of both.
That was my point.
So I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on if you...
Now I'm keeping them out.
Oh,
I like that. I like a hard line.
Yeah, because I'm saying listen, you got to have club rules. In the Dead Dads Club, you have to have a dead father that took care of you.
Okay.
So it has to be a male figure that raised you.
Like there's Dead Moms Club.
I'm in that too.
We never really hear about that, though.
No.
I hit both. Yeah.
We don't hear about it as much. Maybe
women live longer.
Women live longer. Dads seem to die.
Well, they also
whatever.
matter less. So I don't say as much about my mom because my dad meant more.
Why would you? I'm mad that I apologize.
I just like to see what you guys will say when I say things.
So yeah, that does count. Because I think it's because who cares? Like if your biological father dies and you never even knew him, who cares? Or if he's still alive, like, it doesn't mean your dad's still alive if a stranger is still alive that's biologically your dad, right?
Yeah.
Because I would just call that a biological father. It's just like,
I mean,
I'm related to the stranger by genes, and that's it.
I mean, that's really the person that just flipped the on switch, right?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He just like turned the lights on. It's like, okay, well, thank you for that. But this guy's the guy that did all the heavy lifting and making me a man and making me a good human being. And
it must be weird though, like meeting a stranger that looks like you, and then like a lot of people, you hear it all the time. And I've known people that have met their biological parents later in life as they were.
My husband met his brother later in life, and they look a lot alike, and it's kind of weird.
Is it half brother?
Yeah, half brother.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing too. It's like I can't imagine that or how I'd feel.
And they're both grown adults when they met each other, so it's weird.
There must be some. Have you ever talked to them? Like, do you feel any bond whatsoever? I mean, it's more than a stranger, right? A guy who is related to you.
It's pretty much a stranger.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a little, one tick more.
It depends on how much you want to do that, right? Like how much you want to open up that pathway of life. I mean, there is an argument to be made here that if you haven't lived with this particular sibling or whatever, and then you do find out down the road that you have a sibling or a dad or a mom or somebody you've never met before, there's a part of me that says maybe it would be easier to just carry on the way that you've always done and kind of stay separate because, what are you trying to do? You're basically trying to form some sort of pathway that may not be feasible, may not be good to do that.
Well, true if something...
Especially if that person doesn't want you to know that they are your dad, and I'm big on that. Like, these people, I got friends that will be like, I'm going to find my real dad, and then they do, and then they go and they look up the guy, and I'm like, well, wait a minute here.
Just don't get your heart
That person, though, might not want to...
be a part of your life.
And I don't mean that in the negative way. I mean that in the way that they gave you up, possibly because they are not the person to be a dad, or they are not the person to be a mom, and maybe they're intelligent enough and mature enough to understand that. So then they give you up knowing that you will have a better chance at having a wonderful life living with somebody else who wants that role, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and you find this person, and then you kind of turn your own world and their world upside down. It's sort of, is it selfish? A little bit? To do that?
Well, yes, and I think a lot.
You know what I mean? Like if you,
a lot of times, but it's for them though. Like that, and that's what I've learned from people that do this.
But it's selfish, right?
Yes, but they don't. Yes, it is selfish, but they don't care because they're like, well, screw the person. I need to meet this person.
Why?
Because it's some sort of like. Chip on their shoulder or something they have to get pass so they can get past it.
Is it fair to
it's kind of like
closure? It's like closure.
Is it fair to the person that gave you up if you're the mom or the dad that gave the kid
screw
up?
them because they gave you up.
No,
so
but
it's
they
not
needed
about
to
them.
give you up though. What if it's a positive thing to give you up?
Right, like necessity.
You don't.
Yeah, but you
aren't able to raise the child yourself.
That is a thing. That is an actual thing.
Adoption. You're right. So
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like them just neglecting you. That's a different animal. I'm saying
going out for a pack of cigarettes, but like legally give you up for adoption. You're right. That's a hard thing because the person.
It's all situational too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all complex, right? Every situation is going to be different.
I have a friend that did that. That's why I brought it up.
But you bring up a good point in the fact that the person tried to do the most responsible thing and give their baby the best life, right? Because that person's like, I can't give.
Kind of like your pop, right?
This baby. Oh, that was like they gave it up because of the Great Depression.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't. I'm sure they didn't. If you asked them, I don't think they wanted to do that. But
they're not even mad about it. It was just like that's what happened and needed to happen. I'm like, all right. I'm like, he never saw. Like, I'm sure. Imagine if he saw a therapist. So like, I make the therapist quit their job. They'd be like, oh my god. Anyway, but. So they tried to do the responsible thing, and they're commendable for doing that because obviously you're trying to give this human the best life possible. But then this human tracks you down, 25 years later.
Easier than ever now, right?
I guess it's one of those things where you have to put that as a thing that could happen when you give that baby up. Like, this human could track me down in the future, and who knows?
It depends on which. Someone in the chat was just asking about that. There are agencies where you can document that you don't want the child to contact you, and you kind of want to remain anonymous, essentially.
Yeah,
True,
but, I
but
think
now, because the internet-
there are cases where they do that, but then the child, grown adult now,
internet sleuths it.
It's just like, well, that doesn't matter. I'm still going to track you down. That's been happening.
And it's easier than ever now. Like, think about it. Like, you got given up 20 years ago. So this is like 2000, right? So your parents gave you up in 2000, and you're like, all right, I live in St. Cloud, Florida. Let me start looking like back at some records, or like find out from my adopted parents like what agency adopted, and like you could start sleuthing it to the point where you track down some people who know some people. Like, oh yeah, I knew Andy. I think he gave up his kid for a So then you start, and then you look at his picture on Facebook. You're like, well, that looks like me in my eyes or whatever. Like, there it is. And then you track that person down because you need to have some sort of. I imagine it's just human nature to like want to seek out
know where you came from,
that biological parent, just to have a conversation. And a lot of times that's it. Like, I've known people that had that one meeting with their biological parent and they exchange emails, and then that was about it. You know, it's like, and that's all they needed. Like, psychologically, they just needed to see that person and then know that they have their email, and really they don't have that much of a relationship, but for whatever reason,
it's like checking a box almost or something.
But I can't understand it. You can't, and none of us that don't are not in that situation. But I could understand the drive.
Well, I feel
that.
bad for both parties. You know, in one way, you've got this person that's questing to try and answer some questions in their past that they can't. You know, like you almost got born with a certain level of anonymity there, and then you got the other person who's trying to keep that. I mean, and maybe you don't want that disruption in your life. That would be it would be bad.
Although better than the parent that treats you
like
crap and abuses you and stuff like that. That's like, that is the ultimate worst. Like, you could be a parent and like live with your kids and be worse than if you would have just abandoned them to begin with because they're a horrible person. Anyway, all right, bye-bye.